welcome to the meat and potatoes of tonight's show. We are currently continuing Seeker Slayer Survivor as of the previous 2 weeks, or if you like to watch these on YouTube after the fact, in the last VOD of this playlist. We did all of the Crucible. The Rite of Passage, which takes place in here, the Temple of Tuamawai. There's a arena upstairs, and this is the kind of below area. So we did a prior quest called the Rite of Passage, where we had to beat a number of comparatively tough fights, but pretty manageable. Yes, here we were, the Rite of Passage. So the first fight as we arrived, second challenge, third challenge, the final challenge, and then the Pool of Memories. We returned to the Pool of Memories, and we're now starting the Crucible. So now I'm a contender, one of the packs, they're called teams, that go out into the wider world, the wide island. And now I'm a contender in the Crucible. I will be subject to its trials. So we've got to speak with Ngari about the Faces artifacts, because the Seeker Slayer Survivor are the three heads of Tuamawai, big animated possessed statue, I guess, in the arena upstairs. If I collect relics laden with memories of conflict, the Crucible can turn these artifacts into new trials. I will need to speak with Ngari, as he seems to know a lot about these artifacts that are so important to the Faces of the Hunt. And those artifacts go into here. In fact, if we click this little thing, this funky effect goes off, and then it's a special little unique menu, and you can drop the artifacts into here, do a thing, and then it'll bring up a challenge. And I'd imagine from a games design perspective there's going to be some mandatory ones that we'll have to get through, but probably some unique ones and some hidden ones that can offer some interesting fights. Just as a little FYI, we also have a Potions of Plenty. We're doing an ongoing secondary quest called the Potions of Plenty, with a special Animancy-esque belt, which we're trying to harvest energy into for a rather interesting little NPC character. And wearing the upgraded belt means I'll have to face tougher challenges to gather soul essence, so I think there'll be a synergy between the artifacts, fighting them, and wearing this belt going on as well. It's for buying. Congrats. Version 1. Oh yes, with See You Dying's PCB, version 1 fully works after I recalled that I had a friend of a friend who actually did check the schematic canary on the board. Excellent. A schematic canary. I like that. That sounds very good. And version 2 is about 24 traces away from being complete. What are traces in this context? Shipping one of the prototypes from a friend's place to mine is a nightmare because of bureaucracies. I don't doubt. Cross-country with everything else that's going on. And can't start selling until at least Monday. Welcome to the arena! Yes, great shout. That sub-part of Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls 4. Nice one, Decadency. And hoping the start stalk market in Animal Crossing doesn't go rotten on you. That would be lousy. I hope that you sank 1 million bells into the market. Darkened, Jesus Christ. 1 million bells into the Animal Crossing stalk market. Last time prices were this low, I had a decreasing pattern, almost got screwed hard. Well, like Animal Crossing stock market, like the real life stock market, but I'm hoping you don't get helictically wrapped around an inclined plane, or to put it less scientifically, screwed. Hey Gearbox, thank you so much for the lurk, I appreciate that. And Citizen Duncan of Florence, how are you doing, mate? Thank you, good to see you, good evening. And Duncan says, if I can make double, I can pay off my house and be free of Tom Nook's loans for good. Oh, wonderful. Now that's very worth having. With the loan master himself, Tom Nook. Get out from under the thumb of that raccoon. Raccoons like to go through rubbish, garbage. He doesn't strike me as a type who washes his hands enough. And if all goes well, there's a See You Dying with his PCB, maybe 2 months' time till one can consider setting up a store page. Oh, wow. Think a road connecting two towns. Oh, okay, See You Dying. Got you. Oh, in terms of 24 traces away from being complete, so basically a road between two towns being complete. I get you. Well, that's all very interesting. Do feel free to catch me up on the games you've been playing, bits of news and so on and so forth, and your weekend plans, how you are. You need to vent about what's going on in life right now, or just chew the fat. We will do that. But this... There's a few people's favourite, actually, the collector. The alert darkens, bless you. Thank you again for 75 bits. You've gone crazy this month with the bits. It's really, even for you, it's been above and beyond. Thank you so much indeed. All right. This is Ingari. This is the NPC that she told us to go and speak to because he knows about artifacts. So, hello, Ingari. Slim for an Aumauer, or an Aumauer, the man before you boasts warm avuncular features and grey patches his tightly curled black hair. He smiles warmly at your approach.
Greetings, friend, and welcome. You stand before the Keeper of Memories.
He bows slightly at the waist. His attention falls to the dwarf at your side. That would be our sidekick here, Constantine.
And Constantine, too.
Constantine.
How exciting.
Oh my, Ngari's a bit of a master of the lazy sarcasm tone. How exciting.
Been a while, Ngari.
I love Constantine's voice. Option 1, you two know each other. 2, you keep memories. 3, you seem odd for a Juana. Bit of a racial microaggression there. I'm interested in this first bit. Option 1, you two know each other. Always keen to find out more. My Krayven character.
Only well enough to not trust him at my back in a fight.
Oh, meow. Ngari's rather catty.
I'd rather stand face to face anyway.
Yeah. Constantine's voice, man. So option 1, you keep memories.
Those vanquished in the Crucible leave behind their weapons and armor, both often laden with memories of life.
Oh, so you use memories of life for the sake of basically being a battlefield scavenger. Got ya.
It falls to me to keep and protect those trappings and recollections.
This seems a bit debatable.
Doesn't seem far off from torture to me.
Oh, no, that's not what I was expecting. Torture? I suppose if there really is the essence trapped inside these implements, well, I can see the follow-up to that.
Everyone believes they know my work better than I do.
His casual arrogance, or his casual condescension, is almost endearing. He chuckles. Well, option 1, how do you preserve memories from these items? Or option 2, he does seem a little odd for a Juana. I feel now I've talked to him to a bit. This is a bit okay to remark on. You seem odd for a Juana.
Stranger than present company. Captain, we are as diverse, as unusual, and as beautiful as fish in the sea.
Pro Juana. Now Maya, she is Rawatai. She's Royal Deadfire Company. She's very anti-Juana. So even being pro Juana, she doesn't like it much. Well, Takehu, once again, is not making friends, although I'm increasingly liking him. He was such a smug dick at the beginning, but he's grown more than any other character in your main companions, in my opinion.
That isn't surprising. I have strode many nations, spoken to many kith, learned their tales and their traditions.
He smiles.
Not every Juana takes so great an interest in the other peoples of Aora.
That's also true.
Fewer still have the means to pursue that interest.
That's definitely true. They're not amongst the wealthiest.
Reminds me of my least favorite brother.
But we only had one, Kana. Option 1, how do you preserve memories from these items? And Kano was a companion in the first game, and he likewise travelled a lot, but he was coastal Alma, as opposed to the Juana, who are island Alma. How do you preserve memories from these items?
We first wash the items in the pool, and in doing so, give the memories to the souls of this place. Thus do their deeds live on beyond them. Most items carry little more than the strongest memories of their use.
He plucks dismissively at his tunic, as if to indicate its baseness.
A few, however, abundant with essence and charged with purpose, retain unusual attributes. These I care for, curate, and purvey to those worthy of their enchantments.
Possibly we could get some unique loot off the back of that. That's implying. With a warm smile, he runs a finger along one of the blades. Option 1, these would be the artifacts Humer mentioned.
The Crucible recreates battles and conflicts of old, that today's hunters may hone their skills. The pool of memories is the library for these histories.
That makes sense. That's got a consistent internal logic.
These stories aren't told to the Crucible. Instead, items held by those who performed great deeds echo with these accomplishments. The pool of memories absorbs the past from them.
Cool. All right.
As a contender, you will be expected to recover at least one of these relics. I can point you in the right direction, but first I must ask, which of the faces of the hunt do you seek to appease?
All right, well, that's an interesting question. And you better believe with the way I go about, I've decided to go about many games early on in the last couple of years of streaming, and certainly Pillars, you better believe I'm not going to go after the bare minimum. I'm going to be trying to get all the artifacts, not just the one at least we need to proceed. So I'm going to have a little think of this, but just to catch up, C9 says, well, upgraded to a Linux, I'm guessing you mean Unix version, with a buggy OpenGL implementation when it comes to Steam games. So I'm limited to Vulkan Dota, Defense of the Ancients. I didn't realise Dota ran on Vulkan renderer. Oh, sorry, there was some other components. So if all goes well, maybe 2 months' time, T1 can consider setting up a store page. Limited to Vulkan Dota. Does Dota mean something different to the game in this context, C9? Because I'm familiar with the Vulkan renderer. Doom was made in it. Dota 2 does as a free DLC. Oh, okay, got you. And with the 75-bit cheers, my favourite is the classic old zombie. Fair play to you, mate. And Lone Wolf says, got to run a belated Easter... I got to run a belated Easter celebration. It went without a hitch yesterday. Oh, that's wonderful. Lone Wolf, that's lovely. It's rather belated Easter, but hey, better late than never. I'm glad it went really, really well. What did you do? Sort of classic Easter celebrations, like egg hunts and Easter bunnies and so on, or any particular bits of it stand out? Was it a socially distant? A suitably socially distanced Easter celebration? That does sound really interesting. That's something rather different. Do feel free to tell me more. He needs to touch up the zombie bit to remove the lead-in sound. Yes, I do. That's on my list of smaller secondary background stream tasks, but the main one was wanting to get the King Kong scream in place, as you asked about it on Thursday, and I'd intended to have it done by Tuesday or Thursday, but it is ready today. And I do the same. I try to get all the legendary special weapons I can in the game. Yes, I like to do as much as a single first playthrough will allow you to do in said single first playthrough. I'm right with you there, Darkins. Okay, so which of the faces do we seek to appease? No worries, Penneth. No apology necessary, but it is wonderful to have your attention. Just returning to the dialogue here, we've got to decide which of the phases of the hunt do I seek to appease, which will be naturally, like all these things, dependent on, consistent with my character's manner and personality that I've maintained across almost 2 games now. So option 1, tell me more about the faces, almost certainly picking that to learn a little. 2, I need to find an artifact for the seeking face. What do I have to kill to find an artifact for the slaying face? And 4, I'll do anything to find an artifact for the surviving haste. So we've got the surviving face. So we've got all 3 of them there, but naturally my monk's insightful, diplomatic, curious nature will be always leaning a little bit towards getting as much info as possible before making a decision. Tell me more about the faces.
The faces represent the tripartite existence of Tuamawai, the Slayer God, the Seeker God, the Survivor God.
Tripartite existence. Either that's a made-up word, or it's a word for, well, literally 3 parts, all as one rather fancy word. I like that. Tripartite. There's a word of the week. I'm going to try and remember that one. And the kids got an egg hunt, and we separated the tables, and food was served by professional. Oh wow, Lone Wolf, was this like a family gathering thing, or at that sort of scale? It sounds more like something for a neighborhood or a community, or some other professional or NGO larger group body for the effort that you went to. That sounds, as Penneth says, that sounds really, really nice. Yeah, it means 3 parts, tripartite. It is a real word. Right, without wanting to humble brag or come over as overly conceited, it is comparatively uncommon for me to come across a bit of vocabulary that I don't already know, usually by the standards of game writing, most definitely. But it's always a pleasure when I do. Tripartite. I have to find ways to weasel that into a couple of sentences in the coming month until it's fully adapted into my lexicon.
Foreigners conflate them with the changeling for good reason. He cannot be reduced to any single thing.
The changeling, I think that means Gallowayne.
The Stelgar embodies the Slayer aspect. The Seeker is represented by the Spider, and the Boar reflects Tawamawai's Survivor aspect.
Alright, yeah, the Boar and the Stelgar were clear. It was a spider. Ah, that's why all those eyes were there. It wasn't obvious it was a spider.
It is right and proper to respect all three, but all Crucible contenders must eventually make a choice and accept their true face.
Well, I actually managed to make this decision comparatively easily. Oh no, we've got different dialogue options. So there's actually, we can ask about them individually and then ask why can't a warrior embrace all 3 faces of the hunt, where he did say it's proper to respect. But yeah, there's more info. I think I'm going to take all of these options. Oh, as in the pronunciation is similar to apartheid, so tripartite. So the emphasis goes on the tripartite. Okay. Our families, we're all friends, 3 generations. That's so lovely. Do you want the definition? Yeah, go for it. That would be helpful. Thank you. Whichever one of you, Lone Wolf or Darkens, gets there first. Just a short Oxford English synopsis. Tripartite. Learn to pronounce adjective shared by or involving 3 parties. A tripartite coalition government consisting of 3 parts. A tripartite classification. And then as a short summarised definition there from Lone Wolf. Tripartite, consisting of 3 parts, shared by 3 parties. Excellent, excellent. I think hopefully I've got that one locked away now. Thank you for taking the time. Well, it's not just Story Sunday, it is Learning Sunday as well. Alright, well tell me about the face that resembles the spider.
The seeking face represents the mastery of the chase. The understanding that slaughter without gain or purpose is wasteful.
The mastery of the chase. Now, I agree with that so far. Slaughter without gain or purpose just for its own sake is wasteful. It's also kind of sick.
It is the hunter that must think in seasons, not seconds.
Okay, so the patient one, the long term. Well, that does appeal. The seeker. Okay.
Young warriors think the spider odd. It sits still. It does not seek, is oft said.
Nah, stuff comes to it.
But the spider understands the art of the seeker so well that its prey comes to it.
Called it. 200 IQ place right there. Indeed, got a literal long and short of it. Duncan says, my grandfather always says tripartite is a good governing system. Not sure about it yet, but I can see why he says that. Yeah, I can picture that. You've got means you've always got one part to act as a foil or counterbalance to the other 2. Tell me about the face that resembles the Stelgar. This would be the Slayer.
That is the slaying face. The aspect of Tawamawai fixated on the mastery of the life or death dance, where all things are decided. Deadly in a group or by itself. Hungry or sated, the Stelgar is possessed of uncanny focus and purpose. A wise hunter admires and fears the Stelgar in proper measure.
So that is very much in the present. So the Seeker thinks in seasons, the Stelgar very much thinks in seconds. That's your combat focus, your balance, all absolutely in the moment kind of vibe. Well, tell me about the face that resembles the boar, the survivor.
The boar is the surviving face, the aspect of Tuamawai that reminds us that victory without survival is almost always meaningless.
Now, weirdly enough, just the idea of survival on its own, without these particular definitions within the context of this, I would have just, yeah, survivor. I like the idea that I'm a survivor. But of all three things I've heard, this is, just from that line alone, the one I like the least, because victory without survival is almost always meaningless. Not at all. Victories where the parties directly involved have sacrificed themselves for the greater good. The history, both in the game lore and in the real world, is littered with examples of that being anything but meaningless. However, the definition of survival in this instance could be trying to encompass that as well. Like, for example, just humour me on the example I've chosen, but the 300 Spartans, although it actually was about 700 other Greeks with them as well at the same time, but that sort of fighting off a greater force, wherever the real history and the more subtle nuances of that stand, they all got wiped out, but they lived on. There was a sacrifice for the relative greater good of Greece versus the Persians there. However, you can say that, yeah, if there's a survival of the greater culture, that still counts as survival. Whereas if you win, but everything about you and what you're fighting for and what you're known and your wider culture is wiped out, then it becomes a bit redundant. Oh shit! Sorry, I completely pressed the wrong button there. I meant to go. There's a hunt in the chat and press the hunt one.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
But then again, if victory without survival is almost always meaningless, but by its very definition, if you have won, you have almost guaranteed something has survived, at least survived more than whoever lost. Weird. So the first option I would have gone through without any other information, the survival option, is the one I feel has got the least logic behind it.
While all manner of cowards excel at survival, the boar is both courageous and resilient, traits all hunters should aspire to.
I'm actually leaning towards the Seeker at this point. Anyhow, option 4. Hello, Silver Magpie. I appreciate it, as always. It's lovely to see you. I do hope, well, if you are around a wee bit, the briefest of minutes, do feel free to catch me up on how your weekend has been and what you've been up to. But love having you lurkers here. You are the mortar within the bricks that helps build this community. Thank you for your lurk. Why can't a warrior embrace all three faces of the hunt?
In a lifetime of conflict, one can, should, and, with the onset of age, must. But in the Crucible, one cannot advance without championing a single aspect.
Okay, we don't quite have the time to do all the mastery, so picking one.
Have you made your decision then?
Yes. Yes, I was originally... Oh, no. Yes, indeed, the hot gates. The hot gates. People need to remember their roles. And, yes, that was it. Yeah, the fight at the hot gates, specifically. The Alamo is another great example. Yeah. In the context of what I was saying earlier, absolutely, Lone Wolf. And a Stonecrusher Phoenix. Well, we summoned a Stonecrusher Phoenix right away for the first hunt of the evening, which is always nice, but we got KO'd. I'll have to. I should say hunt the chat a little bit more. Next time we'll get them. Next time we'll get it. And one of the numerous sound effects now associated with hunting, all aboard, !all, !Dave, for when we're riding out. And then if we get defeated, We've got runaway. If we win, we've got victory 1. Great stuff, great stuff. I'm sold on the seeking face. I would have originally gone for survivor, but the seeking, you let the prey come to you, kind of appeals. It goes with the fact you're still a hunter. You are still a hunter. But it's also sort of, you're that good, and there's an element to the knowledge. Keep seeking kind of ties in with my character's personality a little bit. The survivor aspect would certainly, with the resilience, would suit a monk, but the way they've defined survival in the context of this competition doesn't gel very well. The victory without survival is meaningless. No, that's just wrong. You are wrong, Ngari. So I'm going to go with the seeking face.
Every year we lose hunters to the Kohatkana Expanse.
Kohatkana Expanse, okay.
Usually they're tracking last year's hunters. But nowhere in my notes have I found out what first enticed Kith to go prowling around that corner of the island.
Why do I get the feeling that's the first place we'll go? Well, don't worry, I can't fail. I'm the player character.
Not surprisingly, the Expanse has become a sacred place to the Seeker.
Really? Why?
Return with something a failed Seeker before you left behind, and the Spider will be pleased.
Okay. Oh, it seems I can actually ask all of these options. I can ask all of Lone Wolf and Darkens. Congratulations, Lone Wolf. Well fought, both of you. Our first duel of the evening. Woot.
And with that, I beat a hasty retreat, dude.
And there's our sound effect again. One of many now provided by Lord Darkens for if you take a bit of a bump to the head in the dueling arena. What do I have to kill to find an artifact for the slaying face? As it turns out, we can ask all of these.
A group of drifters claiming to be eager contenders showed us their true colors. Days ago, while most of the arena slept, they helped themselves to one of our Slayer relics.
You'd think you'd guard these things a bit better. Oh, we're getting some quest updates as well.
Unfortunately for them, the boat they came in on sunk, and it is a very long swim to anywhere beyond the auspices of the Faces.
Should have emphasized that very a bit more. He chuckles quietly, sharp teeth glinting between his lips.
Sure are a lot of convenient accidents happening around here.
Yes, I had noticed that. I agree with you, Constantine.
Slay them. Return the relic to the pool of memories, and the slaying face will be most pleased.
Okay. 4. I'll do anything to find an artifact for the surviving face. Well, as we can ask all of them, let's ask.
The Tiebe o Waiapu has long had a reputation for being inhospitable.
The Tiebe o Waiapu.
It's an arid, miserable shithole, more like.
Ha! Constantine straight to the point.
Yet, the sounder of boars that call the valley home seem to flourish there.
Okay.
Were you to return with proof that you had tread the valley's singular dangers, the surviving face would be well pleased.
Well, I just saw a quest update go off there as well. It seems that we can actually take on the Seeker, Slayer, and one will assume the Survivor subquests of the Crucible, despite having to being only able to champion one of them. I am ready to begin the hunt.
Galarde,
There we are.
I
See?
will see the western doors opened for you.
New quest, the Surviving Face. So we can do all of them. End dialogue. Well, so far. Oh, and there's the way out. Right, let's have a little look at those. Not the best connection in the garden. Oh, I sympathise. I sympathise. Yes, that's gonna be straining the distance of the Wi-Fi a bit there, Penneth. Okay, so there we are. Look at this. We've got all of them. We've got all 3. So if I want to secure the favour of
a wise decision.
Derpy Dragon Rhaegal. Rhaegal. Wonderful. Nice little Game of Thrones reference there. Wasn't it? One of her 3 dragons was called Rhaegal. Folks, do please wave that welcome if you felt so inclined. For Derpy Dragon Rhaegal. Thank you so much. We work a 37-hour day here. You'll get used to it. We'll have a psychotic episode, and I promise we won't judge. And sincerely, thank you for supporting the channel. I do hope you are doing well, and happy Sunday. So the Slaying Face. If I want to secure the favour of the Slaying Face, I'll need to attend to the bloodthirsty statue's demands and find victory in the Crucible Slayer challenges. Recover the Slayer artifact from... I'd happened to be looking over just to keep up to speed with the chat there, and I saw it coming. Darkens, thank you for the 75. My god, that just cusped you past the 17,000 bits this week. You marvellous maniac. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm sure when I'm mid-combat or something, you'll throw one up and it will make me jump out my skin and soil my britches. Recover the Slayer's artifact from Wakapoko Loveld. Some thieves stole a sacred artifact from the archives, and they did not make it off the island, but are hiding west of the Crucible in the Wakapoko Loveld. Yeah, the Seeking One, which is going to be the first choice. Go to the Kohatakana Expanse and find something off of a body of a previous failed seeker, I suppose. And there's, in TB Owaiupu, there's a wild boar of unusual ferocity. That's a very 12 labours of Hercules kind of task. If I return to the Crucible Arena with proof having endured this trek, should gain favour of the surviving face. I would love to see if we could, it'd be great if we could be so badass that we could take on all three of these, but I think we'll start with the Seeking Face in Kohatakana Expanse with my B team. Now, the main drawback here with this B team is they don't quite have the range of skills, party secondary skills, that my primary team has, but we'll do our best. I doubt I'll get you like I did Monday. That was a 1 in a million. That was, yeah, that was a new first place, Darkens. I wouldn't necessarily expect you to. You can't up the ante every single time and every single week. It's just no question, because that one you did on Monday, that was pant wetting. Mondays do seem to be good for it. The real time component, the difficulty of Dark Souls, they really are exceptional. All right, so there's Kohatakana Expanse. I think that was yes. So right, so each of these regions, there's TB. We've got some other little bits we can check out. The burial site, Pingaka Ravine, 3, and then this just be like a generic little spot. Okay, so it's got these 3 locations. He isn't joking about the 37 hours, and that's during your holiday. Alright, I think after all that dialogue and fuss, we'll do a quick save. And then... oh, we can't cross to here, right. We have to do some special thingy at Pingaka Ravine, which I expect will give us an additional quest or encounter or some such. Here we go, right. It'll be the graphic novel dialogue book now. Thick, humid jungle gives way before you to empty air. A vast chasm divides you from further progress, descending to a churning white froth of water below. A bridge of wound rope crosses the gap, planks of dark wood supported between the strands. Alright, so we've got examine the bridge, cross the bridge, a mechanics and or survival check to search for another route, reinforce the bridge with magic, or return the way we came. Well, let's just examine. The thick rope has been well anchored, each line wrapped and tightly tied around one of a pair of heavy stones. The knots have long since crusted over solids. There's no untying them. The sun has bleached the wooden planks to a dull grey. Survival, stealth, or mechanics. So consider the quality of the wood, consider the integrity of the planks, consider the construction of the bridge. Let's see what we've got. So out of survival, stealth, mechanics, who's the highest, and also what's the highest individual stat of those 3 we have access to. So survival of 8 and stealth of 9, mechanics of piss all. Survival of 4, stealth of 2, Well, mechanics is like the only skill my character doesn't have something in. Survival of 4, stealth of 8. Mechanics of 6. Survival 5, stealth of 1, mechanics 2, and survival 2, mechanics 1. It looks like Reki with his stealth of 9. It's going to be for the integrity of the planks. There we go. Choose a party member. Might not be enough. Consider the integrity of the planks. Failure. It's not. You garner no further insight from the bridge. Let's try a couple of others. So we did integrity of the planks. Consider the quality of the woods. Reki again with survival of 8. Success! The wood looks good for burning, but little else. It will not likely hold much weight. Oh, of course, there's also the party. So we actually have, with a party assist of 13, because quite a few of us have got some skill in survival as well. But I think, apart from him, almost no one has any stealth. And examine the bridge. Let's try mechanics. Consider the construction of the bridge. Yeah, party assist is going to be 7 at best, I think. Failure. No further insight. Okay. So the planks, though, we know they're probably not going to support our weight. Mechanics and survival to search for another route. Or reinforce the bridge with magic. Curious. Constantine is a chanter, but he can't do it, but Maya can. I think, though, we'll go with Takehu with his druid abilities. He can probably do something funky. Oh, he's got that wood stuff. He can probably make the wood thicker and stronger. Let's see. Tanglefoot, Wicked Briars, Lashing Vine. Lashing Vine's the highest level spell, so let's give it a go. Takehu rests a hand upon the damp loam. Moments later, vines sprout forth, wrapping around the rope and wood alike, spreading across the bridge until it looks like a natural part of the jungle. We have now formed like a natural tendril vine bridge, like something out of a wood elf kind of naturalized castle region. That's probably way better. That's probably way better now. Yo, Citizen Evil Jess and Councillor Melissa, good evening. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Run across week. Yeah, silly me using basic abilities my party has to prevent almost certain death and injury. It was indeed weak. The bridge was weak, Jess. Now it's strong again. Good evening. How are you? How are you? Melissa, I hope you're doing well. I hope your weekend's been okay and the shifts at work haven't been too brutal. If we examine it now, what does it say? Anyway, we should just be able to carefully go across now. You step onto the reinforced bridge and it bears your weight with a reassuring stability. You begin the crossing. The ropes feel secure beneath your hands and you move confidently along the structure. With a final step onto solid ground, sweet, sweet terra firma, you complete the crossing and find yourself among the thick foliage of the central island. Handled it. Handled it. Brilliant. Marvellous. Close. Close, but that's not quite how you spell shrubbery. It is a double B. The command is in the sound effects board to copy paste. And save no riots here. Jolly good. Jolly good. Kohatakana Expanse. Right, well, that went quite well. We'll quick save there. Kohatakana, let's see what we've got. The deeper you travel into the island's southwestern wilds, the denser the jungle becomes. The air thickens, heavy with humidity, and the impenetrable canopy allows only the faintest light from the sky above. Okay, proper. We demand a shrubbery. You see, you spelled it right that time. Just do exclamation mark with the way you spelled it there, Evil Jest, and you'll be sorted. Jesus! Triple welcome!
What do you want? We want a shrubbery!
There it is. There it is, a triple welcome, 250 creds. Nice start. I think that's our first spin of the evening. And yes, folks, if you didn't already know, we have one-armed bandits and a little gambling section in the content multiplex for your entertainment. The brain is goo. It is warm enough to melt brains, that's for damn sure. Okay. The path narrows into gloom before you, the persistent drone of insects subsiding into soft whispers on the edge of hearing. A twig snaps in the distance. You hear that? Constantine asks. Silence falls. The dwarf hugs his arms around himself and frowns. Gives me the goddamn creeps. Enter the forest. Nothing bad or untoward can happen doing this. Tendrils of grey fog creep across the roots and vines, slowly rising, reaching as you push further into the island's expanse. The air grows opaque. And quiet murmurs carry on the faint breeze. Just as it reaches its thickest, the foggy morass parts like a curtain, revealing again the path before you. Thank you for the 75 biddies, Darkens. Thank you very much indeed. Same one 3 times in a row. It forks to the left and the right, each path looking roughly as passable as the other. Survival, inspect the paths, good idea. Don't think we'll have a good enough skill level based on what happened last time, but we'll try. Oh, we did. Okay, so 11. We definitely have a grand total of 13 survival. All right. There is no hint of tracks here, neither animal, wilder, or kith. I thought it was going to be animal, vegetable, mineral there, as if this trail has never before been travelled. Right, so they seem uncannily similar, almost symmetrical. As if a pane of glass runs between them, one is a reflection of the other. Feels like parabola. The trees bend above like long, many-jointed legs, and their limbs entwine with vines into an impermeable tangle. Let's take the left, I suppose. We'll take the left trail. You follow the trail, and quiet rustling sounds murmur from the obscurity of the undergrowth. The path forks again before you. Okay, no worries, Darkens. Get yourself some food. Between the two paths, so we've already gone left and there's another split. Between the two paths, you find a simple statue. A stone pedestal topped with the many-eyed face of the Seeker. Well, I think we'll examine that. Robert Frost reference. Nice one. Examine the statue. The statue has clearly been standing at this fork for ages. The lines weathered, the details worn away by the elements. Moss grows across the base and vines hang down from the spider-like head. The Seeker's eyes stare at you, unblinking. Yet everything about the sculpture, down to the draping foliage, seems impossibly symmetrical. Although I'm literally looking at the drawing right here, and his face is completely unsymmetrical, and the eyes are, one's there and one's not. But yeah, apart from that, stunning symmetry. Okay. To the left, to the left, to the right. Jump up now, y'all. 2 times. Interpret the statue's meaning. A history check. Oh wow, we have a pretty piss-weak collection of history, but with a 6 and a 5, we might just scrape it with a party assistance. Oh, success! We didn't need it to be too high. The Seeker is rendered with an eye missing. I'm glad that was acknowledged. Or perhaps the eye has been removed since. The statue defaced by some other contestant in the island's games. We have a hunt in the chat. We have a hunt in the chat. Exclamation mark hunt if you want to. Lone Wolf, you and I. Medusa's monster is my bet. Or just Medusa. Just she was the monster. Constantine examines the figure. Strange, isn't it? The Seeker being presented as blinded? Partially so, anyway. Think the Seeker's cult respects the blind any more than the Slayers the feeble? So hunt in the chat, folks. Hunt in the chat if you want. We're going to take the left trail again. Actually, hang on. I think the eyes are giving us a clue. The left is blind. The right is seen. So let's take the right trail. Because, well, we're looking at it. So is it telling us to go to the right when we're looking? And that's like, because it's sitting looking at us between these two forks, indicating one way or the other. Or are we supposed to consider it our left and our right? I'm going to go with what I'm looking at. I'm going to go with what the visual representation here shows and take the right trail to imply that that's where you can see. Take the right trail. The jungle grows darker as you press ever more deeply into its heart. The path forks again before you, and while the split looks slightly similar to the last, you can tell it bears enough differences to suggest you're making progress. Yes! Yes! Hunt in the chat, folks. Hunt in the chat. Hunt in the chat. Lone Wolf is leading a hunt. A hole is a hole indeed. Yes, Jesus. Of course it is. Oh. Between the two paths, you find a simple statue. Why do I feel that we're back the way we came? Okay, this time we're going to take the left. It's a plated dust viper. Yeah, we got this. Nice one. It's the three of us. The three of us have got it covered. A tripartite. 3 parts to one hunt. I know I'm using that wrong. We'll take the left trail this time. Is it, let's see if it's the same. The eye is on the other side. The statue has clearly been standing at this fork for ages. The line's weathered. Okay, so the description's the same. The description's the same. I know we'll succeed here. All right, so it's the same blurb again, but we're going to take the left because the eye's on the left this time. Take the left trail. Okay, the jungle grows darker as you press ever more deeply into its heart. Okay, it forks again. It looks similar to the last. It bears enough difference to suggest you're making progress. Oh, come on. Examine the statue. All right, take the right trail. Now this is a bit different. This is a bit different. It's a trap. Krayven's, yay for Krayven's meat pies. You continue into the growing gloom. To every side grow gargantuan trees, their upper branches disappearing into the darkness above, and the path winds among their bases, each as broad as a castle's turret. Oh, progress! The path separates again, but this time, there's no plinth and no bust of the Seeker. Instead, you find a third path, central, between two others. While the paths to either side appear almost reflections of one another, the central path looks cramped and overgrown. It descends into a dark cave. Right, well, after all that other malarkey, we're going to take the center trail into this dark cave. I'm sure it'll be fine. It might be a trap. It's just a jump to the left. For sure. We're taking the middle path. You enter the cave, making your way through the winding darkness. No barracks. For a time, you hear nothing save your own breathing. But then, the whisper of insects draws you forward, growing gradually until it almost sets the air to humming. 17 hours have passed. Jesus. The cave disgorges you into the jungle, though the darkness is so deep, you do not at first realize you've emerged. The chittering of mandibles and movement of heavy, many-jointed limbs echo above and around you. I think we should search for enemies, or continue cautiously forward. This is the path of the Seeker. Let us seek. Search for enemies. You see nothing to attack and nothing likely to attack you. Oh, well, brilliant. We will continue cautiously forward. This is not This is the route of the coward to attempt to flee, and I will save that for Dark Souls. Continue cautiously forward. The path broadens before abruptly terminating in a broad open clearing. For a moment, it seems as if the jungle itself is aglow, each tree limbed or limed in faint green, but then you see the source of the illumination. A skull almost afire with soul energy. You get no chance to retrieve it, however, as spiders descend upon you from the darkness above. Totally saw it. Right, alerts and sound effects are re-enabled. Combat time. Pest control time. Hammer time. Alright, well it looks like we've gotten to where we should have done. And spiders. That's the Seeker doodad. Here we are.
Ishi, quiet time.
Alright. Let's see if that's going to get particularly intense. How far can they see? Alright, we can just get to the other side before the nearest of the spiders starts dire weaveling. Dire weaver. Dire weaver. Worse than regular weavers. Dire weavers. Okay. Little more. Okay, we're still just out of range.
Go.
We're going to move him on to defender stance so we can lock a few of them down.
Ah.
Derpy Dragon Regal. Oh, I was checking the plant army page for streamers I didn't yet... Oh, 2 seconds. Let me just pause that while I'm reading that. I didn't yet know yet that are live, so I was going around dropping follows where I wasn't, because I know the team has a lot of great casters. Wonderful. Derpy Dragon, thank you so much. Are you one of the latest influx? Welcome on in to the plant army. Indeed, it's a wonderful team. Lots and lots of quite sizable, with lots of advocacy for equality and mental health support and all those good things. One of the main reasons I like it is I can reliably raid someone, and they are always going to be nice people, non-toxic, and really pleasant. I'm talking a lot softer and slower and smoother than my usual pace, because it is Story Sunday this evening, and delivering the epic RPG narratives. Oh, I'm not a member or a streamer. Oh, okay. Well, that is curious, because normally when someone brings it up, it's usually in relation to themselves being a member or in encountering. But that's so nice that the reputation of our team has spread beyond its borders. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. And yes, we do try. We do try. Well, Derpy, well, thank you very much, Jess, and I concur wholeheartedly with what Evil Jess has said. Derpy, it's a pleasure. Absolute pleasure to have you here. I appreciate you just going around, checking a few people out, popping up to say hello and drop them a follow. I do hope you enjoy as much of the show as you deign or have time to watch and or listen to. Now, I'm going to send Reke charging valiantly into battle. Kadoosh, combat has started. Alright, we're going to de-stealth. We're going to have some wood skin on the remaining party, toughen them up a bit. Although every single time that this fractures, this effect goes away, there's a little bug in the game that makes a whole bunch of them
Naturally
disappear, fade away. A 37-hour day is a bit harsh. It's fine if you have a psychotic episode or things go a bit wrong for you. We don't judge in the slightest. Enter.
I'm listening.
What's making that weird squawky noise? Maya. Oh. We'll move her forward. We'll have marked for the hunt on this dire weaver, and then have her do a double shot. Let's see how tough they are. They're fairly tough. Not overly tough, but we'll manage. Okay, time for my namesake, Mr. Player Character Krayven, my fire godlike monk, although right now he's been turned more into a wood godlike monk. Wood. Naturally, we will do Swift Flurry, Enduring Dance, Thunderous Blows, and that leaves enough for Whispers of the Wind, stupidly overpowered OP attack.
How do you like that?
Wait for this. Dunk, 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 dunk. Okay, well there goes one. And a few more crits right there. And how much did we do to the Weaverling? And I've still got enough left in me to run over here and lock this one down. What is making that moronic cackling? Those aren't spider noises. Okay, Ishii, our epic battle parrot. What have you got in the tank? A graze for 9 damage, you absolute hero. And yes, Constantine, what songs are you going to sing? Buffs, leaving footprints, dull and edge, blunt to point. We can make the spiders less damaging and a little bit hungover, but I feel like summoning some skeleton friends. We'll de-stealth him so he can run out. Throw that into the middle of the posse. And summon some ancient weapons to do our bidding. That'll work. Alright. Where are you skittering to, Sonny Jim? He's about to cast a web to immobilize us. Now, yes, if you don't already know the game, this is Pillars of Eternity 2, a direct sequel to Pillars 1, and one of those games where you can play without having played the first game, but if you played the first game, you do get a much richer experience. In fact, if you have a completed game save, you can even load that completed save into this game and carry on the story. Which is what I did, as I completed Pillars 1 and then moved on with this. So this Krayven, fire godlike monk and his merry band of chums from the first game, including a few returning characters. The only difference is, normally, this game is much like Baldur's Gate and others, and like the first Pillars 1, is pause-based real-time. Pause-based real-time. So real-time combat.
It's wrong.
And you do a lot of pausing. In fact, you fight the combat mostly static. Let's get some buffs up. Frenzy. And tactical barrage. Vigorous defense. And I think a barbaric blow. After clunk.
They cyberpunk.
Because he's dual wielding. He's doing a bit more damage now. Will work quite nicely. But yes, they introduced a turn-based mode. And eventually took it out of beta. For turn-based, it works surprisingly well. For a game originally built as pause-based real-time.
Not right.
Okay, can he perhaps interrupt that? I don't know, but we'll try a leap. Yes, oh damn. He gets really excited with his critting.
How about this?
Sounds like a bat or something. Hungover spiders webbing everywhere. Yes, just like kind of these cacked up webs. Like, oh god, get away. Wire weave. All right, so they got like these really
like a fish on the hook.
Okay, well, all they did was just immobilize the 2 characters I'm not moving anyway. My main caster and my main ranged character. Oh well. All right, I'll move up the monk. Let's see, he should still have all his buffs up, so we're going to do a straight up... let's try Inner Death. If this crits, it will crit for... No, let's save it. Let's save it until Takehu has done his spell that increases critical hit chance on something.
My pleasure.
Yeah, because that wasn't too good. That wasn't too good. But these animated weapons really are the beeswax. Well, I think taking out the Weaverlings, the additional damage coming from them isn't a bad idea. So yes, if you're someone who likes the CRPG, the classic RPG game, and you like the turn-based one, I will say that from what little bit I've played of Divinity Original Sin 2, and what little bit more I've seen of it, that is the sort of de facto standard of... Oh, excuse me. My mouse has run out of battery. I am going to lean down momentarily and get the cable. I forgot that was running on one little red flashing light. I will be 10 seconds. Perhaps a tad longer than 10 seconds. Okay. We're out of beta. We're releasing on time. You know it, right. Just gonna have to plot that somewhere. Get this thing out. Foolish. I should have left this on all day so it was ready for this evening, but the best laid plans of mice and men. But in the meantime, yes, considering this game was built mechanically as pause-based real-time, it does work. The turn-based mode as a secondary after-the-fact implementation does work quite well. In fact, really rather well. A number of abilities that are definitely second fiddle, that are definitely, oh goodness me, a little bit less ideal in pause-based real-time, suddenly become quite powerful and quite useful in turn-based. However, in turn-based mode, however, it is rather slow to play through. I think it's probably added an extra 50% playtime on for me doing this turn-based, because after 200 hours I was ready to try and mix it up a little bit. 200 hours to stream the first game, and I think this has made the turn-based mode has made this even longer. So not to knock it, but yes, if we like this, I'd say a game built from the ground up to be turn-based, like Divinity Original Sin, if you like the turn-based mode. But this is still a wonderful game series, Pillars 1 and 2, but if I was doing it again, I'd stick with pause-based real-time. Yo, K Majesty in the house. Okay, everyone, empty your toys and get Krayven a battery. It's gonna go on. Oh, that's what it was. Oh no, I thought it was something else squeaking. It was. He just burrowed out the ground and popped back. And hello to you, K Majesty. How are you doing? Hello, 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 hello. All right, can we maybe bop this one on the head? What's he got here? Kazuwari's Call. We only get that once per rest. I'll save it for something bigger.
The pleasure is mine. How?
Bang. Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
Speak your mind.
Takehu. Oh, yes, he's immobilized. That was it. Let's put your increasing entropy, converting hits from critical hits onto this one. Because my character, my monk, has an ability that is surprisingly is if it crits for like 300% damage. It's called like Inner Force or Inner Death or something along those lines. Right, so the entropy will go off there. Nice, it's landed. How has your weekend been,
My blood
Majesty?
is thick.
Can we perhaps interrupt that? He's got two doodads. Causes a thunderous explosion that stuns and shoves enemies in an area of effect. Oh, perfect. Okay, or it missed. That's also great. I'm really happy that happened. Okay, animated weapon. Deal with that Weeverling, who's still not quite dead. What about this animated weapon? Go stab it. Why are you taking all that time to get there? There we are. Worth it in the end. Has he got a bit more juice inside him? Yes, because if we bring him round to about here, that thing will count as flanked. Found some lasagna in the fridge. Oh, excellent. The dildo throne is all tuned up and ready for you. Yes, indeed, the Twisted Sisterhood's throne of... I was going to say judgment, mercy, pleasure... Pick your poison. Mm-hmm. Right, now... to here, with the speed... Enduring Dance, Thunderous Blows, Swift Flows are still up. So here we have Inner Death. Targeting not only the foe's body, but the inner core of their soul. If the attack critically hits, it deals tremendous damage. There, 219 damage from that one hit. Because we're using its synergy with entropy.
Of course.
Right, Ishii. Why can't we go around there? Will he make it? He won't. This bird flaps remarkably slowly. Shockingly slowly. Does he have a charge? Brutal takedown. No, he's still got to be in melee range for that. What about Furious Call? Oh, he's just out of range for that because he would have run through this thing doing some damage to it. Never mind. Never mind. We'll just end the turn. My week has been okay, huh? Pretty chill. How about you? Likewise. Pleasantly relaxed. Pleasantly relaxed. No penetration. Title of my sex tape.
At your service.
Got some much needed work and improvements on my car, on the mayoral turbo wagon.
With that, I
Done
need a
yesterday.
hasty retreat, dude.
Darkens and Evil Jess, and well fought Evil Jess. Sorry, congratulations Evil Jess. Well fought, both of you. Wire Weave is going to go up.
How embarrassing.
Oh, I didn't realise that had a paralysis component and a damage component. I just thought that was a... I just thought that was a immobilization ability. Also, what the hell just happened to Reke? He was just being chewed up like you wouldn't believe. But yeah, I had worked on the car yesterday, worked on some background stuff for the stream. Been just taking it kind of easy. Been feeling odd sort of way, Kay. Odd sort of way. Not off, I guess. Not feeling bad, but just feeling a bit out of sorts, feeling a bit put off, stressed out, despite feeling comparatively good. Which is a little bit weird, a little bit hard to describe, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay, he's still got all his other good stuff.
The pleasure is mine.
He does not hit very hard at all. My cat is hunting my lasagna. You'll have to rename your cat to Garfield there, Darkens.
I am stuck. Aid me.
Naked's throne is made from dildo. Mine is tentacles and Lila's is a comfy throne. Oh, you all have a personalised one. Okay, I just looked away reading the chat for 1 second and my character just got savaged for like 3/4 of his health. I need to start perhaps doing a little more damage to these jackasses. Huh. Wham. Okay, Ishii. In your own time, good sir. Perhaps a knockdown with the 1 point left is worth it. Okay, the average sized parrot did not manage to flip over the giant spider. Bearing in mind at max level I've actually had this parrot headbutt a dragon and knock it over. So it wasn't the most unreasonable hope. I still have the best throne. Wouldn't dream of disagreeing with you. I think a second wind is in order here. Right, that's got me patched up a little bit, and another... Oh, no, we need... Cheering Dance. Thunderous Blows. Crikey! Welcome back.
Take your eye off the battle and it all goes to shit.
Even fractionally, even momentarily, it damn well does. It has been a weird time in manner of ways. It's only getting weirder in the darker sense. But we'll persevere. Marked twice. Gonna run to here. Do we have a hunt going on? We do. We do. We have a hunt in the chat. Get yourselves out there. Get yourselves involved if you'd like to. I think Whisper's on the wind again.
Try this.
As we just bounce between two of them, it should do quite a lot of collective damage. Yeah, that was actually comparatively...
This isn't how I usually work.
What is going on with some of the pathfinding here? It is very weird.
Right here. Sure.
No, okay, he's just stuck there now. All right, fine.
At your service.
He did a full body workout. Oh, he got Pilates bar with resistance bands. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. Where have you got that set up or sort of screwed up? Is that like between a door frame or some other such thing? That's really good. Your thighs are complaining. Gonna have buns of steel. Okay, the rusted armor, weather the storm. They're not doing any environmental. Oh, Garden of Life. Let's use a corpse. There's 2 corpses there. Curious how this works. Not really used it much. Right, animated doodads. We'll have to keep you focused on there. 34 damage, nice. The other one is still oh no, they're fading away. That was our last turn with the weapons. Okay, that, whatever it was, Garden of Life was a bit rubbish. Constantine. Bop. 13.
Go.
Ricky. Bang. Bang. Oh no, it is helping. He's getting constant regen all the time. Slightly lurking, cooking some pasta for my son. Ah, oh, what a first-class father. He will appreciate that, and he should say so as well, Penneth. We'll catch you in a little bit, mate. Enjoy. It's not the path of survival for nothing. This is the path of seeking. There was briefly. I didn't see that. I've just looked over. I've just looked over, and the network is showing. I previously had 0 drop frames. It just went to 0.4%. I don't know when, between when I last looked and now. Everything's stable as hell, but yes, Darkins, you must be right. And if it was then, it must have been just very recently. Must have been just very recently. Sorry about that. I don't know what triggered it. I think mainly just a little cough. Things seem to lock up a bit. Hopefully it should be a one-off. No rendering or encoding lag, but yeah, the network just briefly went... I didn't see when. It must have been a split second, but thanks for letting me know. Okay, he's gone. Alright, we've almost got these dire weavers down. Oh, that one healed itself a little bit.
How embarrassing.
What ability was that?
I'm listening.
Wire weave. 2 hits and a crit. That wire weave they're doing is vicious. Very vicious. Yeah, I'll keep my eye out for it. Yeah, well, this is a Unity engine, but yeah, it might be something. Oh, the drop frames are purely due to the network. Purely due to the network, so that won't be anything to do with the engine in case. It's just either something at my end or something at Twitch's end. Just coughing up a little. Let's move her up and around a little.
For the homeland!
Anyway, hopefully, after the previous 2 Sundays, everything will just be fairly well behaved. Our Vine will finally get a go. It's been long enough. Bam, bam. Ishii, perhaps the parrot will get the kill. Nope, 3 damage. Nope. No, it seems to have been... Okay, a few
Yours to
F5s,
command,
folks.
Captain.
F5s if things seem a bit stuttering. Refresh, because we're... Oh, no, it's just happened again. Ah. Yes, it's just... I literally happened to be looking at the exact right moment. And my bitrate just went bloop down to about 2,500 momentarily. And now it's back up again. Now it's fine. It's not bouncing back and forth constantly, but it's sort of going along. It's sort of going along and then just sort of, and then just carrying on, as opposed to sort of doing this. So yeah, it's really, really solid again. But yes, just for a fraction of a second. Hopefully it's not locking anything up or giving a network error or anything like that. It's just it was just a half second or two of just some quick. It would have been quick lag, but yeah, that is me. That was my bitrate being a bit funky. 9 p.m. just gone 9 p.m. on a Sunday night in the UK under quarantine. The internet is still massively overused and overstressed for sure. Hopefully that's as bad as it'll get and it won't consistently happen. Let's have a look. Embrace the Earth Talon. Let's shrink that down, make it extra powerful.
Worth and rough.
Let's find out. Well, it just moved there due to the camera angle. No, those things are unrelated. I think that's just trying to find a pattern there, Darkens. I can understand the logic behind it, but yeah, if frames were being dependent on the camera moving, that would be more likely to be rendering.
Bird here.
Oh, damn it. Oh, it was him in charge. Ouch. I thought I had Krayven and it wasn't. I had Constantine. Actually gonna... Oh, he's a mobile... Oh, Jesus. Oh, I moved him just out of range of everything, but yeah, those would be rendering frames. I think the network just bounces because it sometimes does.
How's this one go again?
Okay. He's still immobilized. Oh Lord, I'm immobilized again as well. Well, that won't do. I think Resonant Touch should hopefully finish them off. During the... Yeah. Resonant Touch. Wham. Oh, you got to be kidding! What a suitable one to go off, the Collector. Right, a whole bunch of critters popped up. I thought we were done. We just killed the 2 dire weaver things. We've now got 6 more sprung up. Brilliant. Oh, crikey. Oh, well, that's just fucking great. Okay, we got a little bit more on this. Wham, wham. I think I should maybe use a sweeping thing. Alright, so all these dire weavelings get to have a go. Okay, so he hasn't got anything good up. Frenzy, and we've got vigorous defense. Let's give him another tactical barrage. Oh, that was solid. Okay, I should have done that on the middle one. But yeah, okay, the barbarian thing's coming into its own. The only person allowed to mobilize Kray is Jyoti. Damn right. Alright, so the dire weavelings are going to do all their little things.
Something's not right.
We're going to get lots of comments that they're poisoned. Okay, why are they all picking on Constantine? Jesus Christ, leave my Chanter alone. He's not that hard. Yeah, that's it. Beat up the parrot for a little bit. Okay, their critical hits don't even hit that hard. Okay, Maya. Okay, that breath of flames is going to hurt too many of us. Never mind. Think we're going to have to use some empowers here. Alright. She doesn't have much in the way of AoE. Thorny roots. Yeah, we'll throw some thorny roots down.
Might as well be hitting the water.
Okay, that wasn't all that useful against them. And these weavelings get to have a go again. Wow, okay, they are shockingly tough. Stop picking on my Chanter, you bastards. I might have to switch over to the debuff thingy. Because he's surrounded by enemies, so being able to debuff them all with his songs would be helpful.
This will not do!
Are we in the Forbidden Forest? Yes, we're this is very much Mirkwood, isn't it? Anyone got a fireball? Break out Alice Cooper's poison. Oh, crikey. Okay, Constantine barely survived that. That is not great. Potion of major healing. I think, well, we're going to change his song over. What's he currently on? We'll do chant number 3. He stops chanting number 2, starts chanting number 3, and I think he's got to use one of his potions here. 120. Alright, he's back in it.
You are looking yours to command, Captain. No need to ask twice.
Takehu. Right, some big old AoE. What are these things actually weak against? Fire. Funnily enough, Jess, you say anyone got a fireball. That's exactly what we need. We don't have a fireball, but we do have a boiling spray, which... Oh no, that's a moonwell. Where is it? Boiling spray, which does count as fire. And it... Oh, this boiling spray only affects the enemy. Ha ha ha. Oh, wait for this. These spiders are about to get some hot kettle, boiling kettle into the patio as if you're dealing with an ant infestation. Right, one dire weaveling is... Alright, now we get to Rika Rawenge. Also, where's she stood? She's over there. I'm reckoning a furious call. Do a nice little bit of damage and speeds him up.
Your orders?
Okay, Maya herself, save what few points you have remaining.
For the
Shoot
wrong
this
and
one.
newy.
Thunk. Beautiful. Or something from the band Poison. Every rose. Well, we just threw up some thorns, didn't we? Every rose has its thorn.
Right here.
Alright, has Krayven got the wounds for it? All of his buffs are up, so yes, he does. Whispers on the wind. Of course, with a group like this, we're going to do Whispers on the wind. Bam, bam, smack. Okay, that dealt with a few of them. Or punished a couple. Now, I could charge him if I put him about here. And then charge him to here.
Very nice, Rekka.
Stuns a whole row of them. Okay, we have definitely taken the initiative here. And then the vine can slap this one. And then we're going to water the plants in a rather unpleasant manner. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, yes, look at that. That was fire damage right there. That was masterfully done, if I do say so myself. looks over. It's minimal. It's minimal. It just jumped up another 0.1%. But okay. Reke, what's he got now? That one. Kind of need him to be hitting both of them. I think just a regular attack. Oh wow, his range, his sweep on his attacks is really cool. That must be his barbarian frenzy going on. Let's put up vigorous defense.
At your service.
Alright, well, Takehu, at my cervix. Thanks very much. What have you got? Infestation of maggots. Christ.
Rain of fire.
That's the new one. That one got me. That one got me. Just a nice quick. Darkness, thank you. We don't have Rain of Fire, unfortunately. But yes. Also quite a fun little movie. Quite a fun little movie. Yeah, because our only aggressive spellcaster, is a water shaper, so he's ruled out of all fire-based druid magic. You did indeed. You did indeed. What do you think of? What do you think of the fifth one? Are you happy with it as the purchaser of it? Okay, so that one doesn't get a go because he was stunned. That one doesn't get a go because he was stunned. Excellent. And then Ishii gets to bam. Okay. Right, yours truly, who's still kind of weirdly glitchy, unpowered. Come over to here and bang, bang. Because they're very weak against crush damage, so unarmed damage, which counts as crush damage, is really very helpful. And fists, yeah, my monk's fists count as like clubs kind of thing. I'm glad you're happy with it, mate. Good, jolly good. Okay, good turn. Oh, we could paralyze them and scare them when they're no longer good. Anything to prevent them having too many goes. That one's almost down. Yeah, these weeblings are a lot easier. We'll...
For the Ranganui.
Boom! Oh, and she did a little bit of healing by killing it. That's rather good. Okay, infestation of maggots.
I am the alpha predator.
Nice. Dealt with them. Gonna do some dots over time. Oh, it was his go again. I thought it was Ishii's go again. Oops. Oh well. Short and sweet with no warning whatsoever. Yes, indeed. Yeah, no build up. Straight to the point. I could possibly do with upping the volume on it, but if I remember to, I might re-record the MP3 again with just a little bit of amplification. But we'll see.
How about this?
Bang. Okay, yours truly is randomly invisible all over the shop. Do we have resonance? Yes. Well, yes and no.
Not exactly what I was going for.
Not exactly what you were going for. What, exploding into chunks? Although it's gone with the generic lumps and bones. Skeletons don't have... arachnids don't have bones. They have an exoskeleton. And final killing blow goes to the enormous hentai vine. Goodness me. Alright, after all of that, I think we'll drop a quick save. My word.
Yeah?
Okay. Chitin thingy, fang, nice. Bit more of this stuff. Yeah, the reason some of them are invisible, it's a little bug off the back of if you have some spell that retextures your model, when it goes away again, it doesn't bring the original model back until I think you move scenes.
Whatever you need. What?
Okay, so we've looted everything. This is going to be okay. This is the named region. How do we talk to this? Ah, here we go. Quest updated. The Seeking Face. Find an artifact of Seeker. Ah, hello. Aha. A soul shimmers before you. Let me just check it before I go any further. Oh, fiddlesticks. 0.9, yeah. Just every so often, just a few hundred or just shy of 1,000 frames is going and then coming back. It's just bopping. It's rock solid. This is a slightly different to normal. Normally it's steady as a rock or it's constantly bouncing, but it's just going down for a half a second every few minutes. Isn't still fine. It's still fine, but apologies, it's not quite there. It just happened again, and then it's going to come back to green. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's literally 1.5 seconds. Like 1.5 seconds, and then it'll just do it. I think this is the best I can get it on a Sunday at the moment. Goodness, I hope this pandemic ends soon, but no sooner than it's safe to do so. Let's get all these other people who don't need to be using the internet off of it. A soul shimmers before you, her faint glow unreflected by the trees. Flowing gossamer silks sheathe her form, and long black tendrils of hair crown her head.
Do you see her too?
Moatu, yes, I do. Oh, yes, this is the ghost of the decapitated guy that was sent to us in order to confirm we were definitely a watcher.
The Crucible still serves its purpose, bringing Galawains devoted to battle, bringing battle to Galawains devoted.
Exika is her name, or Exika, something like that.
But a wound, a tear, festers in the heart of this place.
Oh dear. Well, firstly, who are you?
I ask you to risk life and limb in the Crucible, but the desired outcome is not your death.
Yeah, that wasn't actually my question, but okay.
The future of this place depends upon you seeking the champion's crown.
Goodness me, I have to reach for glory. Well, okay then.
Souls that prowl this island writhe in disharmony. Without your help,
The image falls silent as the woman's form loses definition. In the span of a breath, the apparition dissipates entirely, her words unfinished. I guess then asking what was going on or who are you would lead to the same dialogue. Like, because she's not interested in answering pointless questions, but something is amiss.
Oh, where'd she go? Hello, spirit lady?
Option 1, let's go. Option 2, any idea who that was? Well, he clearly doesn't. 3, do you sense when he goes spirit lady? Yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. Do you sense the turmoil she spoke of?
Not really, but I don't feel trapped here. Exactly. Not like she does. I came willingly, after all. Died willingly, I mean.
Okay, willingly after died willingly. Your Wi-Fi, your house, shit the damn bed. Oh god, darkens, that sucks, mate. Okay, this is starting to bounce a little more. Yeah, I'm wondering if what steps I took to fix things are starting to be starting to be fought against. I'll see if I can take some load off of the network very briefly. All right, so second and a half. All right. Hopefully that will stabilize some things.
And I've got you, right?
Oh, I get to ask the other thing as well. Sees my colluded found the net again. Excellent. Any idea what that was?
Not a clue. Perhaps she was the seeking face.
Possibly. It's getting warm in here as well. 27 degrees and counting.
Or perhaps some other poor soul trapped here on Kazuwari.
Oh, it's not. Okay. This little dip is happening and getting worse. It's staying pretty good for the most part, but it's going on and it's happening more frequently. I'm looking at the average amount of drop frames starting to creep up. Let's go.
Perhaps if we complete the other trials, we'll find similar spirits. And hopefully they'll be a touch more cheerful.
True. Oh, we gotta level up. We gotta level up. We gotta level up. Right, I'll persevere as best I can. I'll persevere as best I can.
What a lovely day!
The output's getting just frequent enough with that bouncing to be a bit irritating. It's putting me off my flow a little, but we'll try and carry on. Hunt in the chat, folks. Hunt in the chat. Hunt in the chat. All right. Well, we've had a little bit of an advancement of the story. Let's see what that's updated here. Return to the pool of memories. Oh, so that was it. Just recover that artifact. Well, while we're out here, we'll do the whole region. I'm going to just explore this smaller environment because sometimes there's a cool little free pet, unique pet kicking around. Okay, can't do anything with that particular body. Tucked in the sort of the corners of this place. I'm thinking perhaps while the internet is under such high use, I should start dropping back to 30 frames a second more frequently. Off with the shirt. My flagrant, down with shirts, up with shoulders. Yes, I'd be in flagrant violation of the terms of service, wouldn't I? Okay, so much like in the world map, these unique named locations are still temporary. You do the thing in them, usually a single fight, and then it goes back to how it was. Then they disappear. So we'll drop an F5 there. That seemed to go okay. The slaying face from Wakapoko and surviving phrase from Tiba O Waipu. Ah, well, the four of us walked away with profit. Rules are made to be broken. Psh. Pretty sure that's the complete opposite of what they're made for. I would agree in some regards, but I don't. Nah, you ain't showing nipple. True. They made the rules. Jokes aside, they made the rules a bit tougher and a bit more stringent and hopefully consistent in regards to showing skin, regardless of gender, on stream. But if I was raking in millions of dollars per stream for Twitch, I could get away with God knows whatever. But I'm not, so I can't. The mountainous area of Kazuwari is known as Tiba O Waipu. Is reportedly home to a wild boar of unusual ferocity. If I return to the Crucible arena, okay, so I've got to just endure this trek and possibly fight it. Okay, we'll clear that out and get to that burial site as well. Besides, we know you're airing out the Juice Crew below Count. What? The Juice Crew? I've never heard it referred to that. Also, how dare you? How dare you insinuate such sordid accusations? I'd never do such a thing. It's outrageous. Rules are made to be broken and streams are made to be shut. I'd hate for this stream to be shut down. I would too. I would be most upset for this particular channel to go that way. Yeah, firstly, yeah, 30 days. It's quite substantial. A long, arid expanse stretches before you, bordered on either side by dry, jagged cliffs. A handful of sharp-leafed trees and scraggly shrubs share the landscape, but the miles are otherwise desolate. In the darkening distance, you make out a faint red glow high among the stony promontories. Thoughts? Who's got the best scouting or survival? Take Rekka's thoughts. The streamer doth protest too much. Oh, shenanigans. Oh, tush and fie. Rekka stretches with a grin. It is almost like I'm home. Thoughts from Maya? Seems that the point of the thing is to suffer our way from one end to the next. Maya plants her hands on her hips and sighs. Thoughts? Constantine might know something. Constantine peers into the valley and frowns. Looks like a lonely place to die. Thoughts of you, aquatic boy? I say the gods love a challenge, and there is none better than pushing mortals to their limits. Takehu shields his eyes and scans her horizon. Alright, well, we'll press further into the valley. You pick your way among the dry stones and thorny brush. You swipe at stinging insects and scare off hissing lizards. The land itself seems set against you. The valley narrows for a time to the point where only two kith can walk abreast. Breast. You approach an ancient structure of stacked stones. Ooh. I passed an automatic perception check. The stones appear precarious. Might send someone ahead. Wow, considering he's a brute, a fighter, and a barbarian, his might stat is pathetic. What's my might stat like? Okay, my might stat is actually higher than our tank. Maya has an oddly high might stack for a hunter. Constantine, for a chant, has got the highest. Okay, Rekka is the joint weakest along with our druid. Jesus. Send someone else ahead. Continue carefully through. Or blast it apart with magic. An athletics check. How are we doing on the athletics front? 8, 11, 5, 4, 3. Okay, my character's very fit. The rest of them, not quite so fit. It's a while away. 30 days is nowhere near enough to kill this stream. I took 3 weeks off and it didn't damage the stream at all. But yeah, 30 days with a random ban would certainly not do the show any good. Tell you what is able to kill a fucking stream. It's just, despite everything, this internet's still flickering from time to time. Even still, constant network issues. Even an unexpected 30 days one, it wouldn't kill us at all, because I would say, okay, this has happened. Just disappearing for 30 days and never, even if I disappeared for 30 days and didn't announce anything, it wouldn't kill it. A stream perhaps, but not this stream. The stones appear precarious. Right, blast it apart with magic. World's Maw, Twin Stones, Embrace the Earth Talon. Yeah, let's chuck rocks at the rocks. Let's chuck rocks at the rocks. That should work. With a resounding blast of arcane might, the stones are knocked from their perches and fall into the ground below. You pass through without difficulty. Option 1, press further into the valley. 2, you still with me? 3, check on the glow. 4, turn back and leave the valley. Let's find out. Are you still with me? Rekka frowns, working at a bandage with dirty fingers. I live yet. At least we're getting closer to the end of this place. Well, I guess we can check on the glow. Exactly, because we are a community. It's a symbiotic relationship. Neither the channel nor the Discord takes precedence. One exists with the other. Okay, 2 seconds. Just got to... let's see. What is this check on the glow? You've made some progress down the valley, but the light still seems distant. You owe me a dip in the bathhouse when this is over. Maya wipes sweat from her brow and chuckles. I want to hear what each of them has to say at each juncture. Yeah, doing well. Constantine wipes sweat from his brow and grimaces. Takehu raises his finger to form an answer and then abruptly heaves forward to vomit into the sand between his feet. He blinks up at you and parts his lips in a weary attempt at a smile. Akira, I am fine. You? Or press on further. We are Krayven, I mean Venom. 5. Lick the glow. What a prudent plan. You continue on, forging ahead against the hostile environment. The rocks shift above you, then tumble down the cliffside. Let Maya fend for herself with a constitution check. Now she's got constitution 12. Or leap to Maya's defense and athletics check. Right, watcher only. I've got athletics of 11. That's pretty good. Success. You knock Maya out of the way, avoiding the falling rubble entirely. Ugh, you still with me? Okay, good, good. Press further on into the valley. You continue on, forging ahead against the hostile environment. As you make your way forwards, the pebbled earth shifts out from under you, plunging you into a hidden crevasse. Constantine grabs you and hauls you back up to solid ground. Oh, cheers, dude. Athletics check of 10. Constantine brushes the dirt from you before you continue on. Okay, check on the glow. You've travelled quite far into the valley. It seems to stretch as far behind you as it does ahead. Kay says, I'm tempted to cut myself a thick fringe when I cut my hair. 90% sure if I do, lockdown will end the next day or something. So true. So true. Imagine an RPG character that has to lick everything they come across. I imagine they would not live too long. They would not live all that long. Okay. Still with me? Yeah, doing... Okay, so it's the same messages again. Let me just check another one. 2. Okay, still vomiting. Press further into the valley. A boulder blocks the path. You have to push it out of the way. You succeed, but as it rolls aside, it crushes Constantine's hands. Oh, Christ. Cradling hands to chest, Constantine begins to lag behind. Ouch. Smashed hands, plus 20 initiative. I've never seen a wound like that before. Smashed hands. If I could make it, this is Krayven sound. Do you mean like from Nightmare Before Christmas? Like, this is Halloween, this is Halloween, da 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 da. Again, I could, but the bit where I'd have to change it to this is from Halloween to Krayven's Town would be a bad adaptation of my voice. It would work a lot like the Brave Sir Robin one, but it would be a lot more obvious. The Brave Sir Robin one, I just have to put in a quick thing and then it's counterbalanced by the second voice track of me doing it. Yeah, I could do it, but it wouldn't be possible to do it quite as well as I did Brave Sir Krayven. That would be a crime. My curls are fabulous these days. Just thinking a fringe would look hella nice. Oh, from 300, there's Krayven. Yeah, that I could probably do. Although to get the video component to it, I'd have to do a bit of what Jay does and probably just put my face over his briefly going Krayven's Town and actually speaking, because Sparta doesn't exactly match Krayven's Town even with bad dubbing. Oh, if you plan to buzz it all off, oof, nah, yeah, I've met Kay. Her curls are excellent. How are we doing? Anyway, he begins to lag behind. Constantine was injured. Oh dear. Ugh, you still with me? Let's pick... Oh, we can't pick him. He's lagging behind. Never mind. Check on the glow. Alright, we're still about that far. Press further into the valley. You continue on, forging ahead. Is he keeping up? Oh, I think the fact that he's greyed out means that we can't use him for any party assists. So any skill checks with party assists, his stats are not going to be included. The path threads through a narrow pass between two titanic slabs of stone. Wrecker slips but manages not to fall. With a wry smile, your compatriot continues ahead. Ah, good. He's got surprisingly high dexterity for a brute. Okay, press further. Press further. Or just make Krayven get swollen and do the seed. I could do that. I could do that. Thanks, dude. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, Kay. Press further. You find the valley beyond, partitioned off by a veritable wall of dry brambles. Oh my word. Krayven's Town from 300, so this is Krayven's Town. Make it so. I'm sure you can find the video and sounds. Well, if it's just a sound effect request, there won't be any video with it. There won't be any video with it. That would save me having to do the video editing on top of it. So yeah, I'll all right then. I will make a sound effect of this is Krayven's Town. Can do. The Twisted Sisterhood is back. You know it. You know it. Does that image look like something to you guys? The image always looks like something to you, Evil Jez. Something dirty. Fire ability. Burn them. Has anyone got fire? Ah, yes, I do. Final Flame once per rest, or Breath of Flames. Maya's Blaze clears the plants ahead of you, but a flaming branch falls upon your companion. Oh god. With a groan, your companion resolves to carry on. They're really putting us through our paces here, aren't they? Maya was injured. How about serious burn? -2 dexterity, -3 armor rating. That's one of the lesser injuries you can get. Press I think we're finally almost there. How are you holding out? Okay, cool. We can do that with a few folks. Rekka frowns, working. Okay, that's the same as before. Check on the glow. The end of the valley doesn't seem like it could be that far now. Maya, same again. He's lagging behind, and same again. Press further into the valley. Burn the bush. Burn the bush. It's a test. Oh. You continue on. Oh dear. As you push further forward towards your goal, what initially seems like a heavy blush of exertion across Takehu's face grows into an increasingly weeping rash of broken sores. Oh dear. Concoct a salve. Alchemy. Now, my character, Krayven, is quite a capable alchemist. That's true, actually. That wouldn't be a bad use for it, would it, Darkens? To see how loyal the team is, my guess. Yeah. Concoct a salve. Right. Hope I don't have to use any of my own ingredients. Success! It takes time to find the right herbs, but soon Takehu's boils and sores have been soothed. Press further into the valley. Oh lord, here we are. As you pass a series of holes in the rock, spiders roughly the size of your fist, oh actually not big then, by this game standards, pour forth, swarming over your party. You fight them off with little difficulty, but Rekka suffers a few vicious bites. You notice your compatriot beginning to straggle behind. Alright, he's now out of commission for any skill checks in this graphic novel bit. Maimed, -10 accuracy, -15 all defenses, -15 max health. That's not good for a tank. Oh my word, we are being battered. We are being absolutely battered. How are you holding out? Okay, bathhouse, check on the glow. Come on, we've got to be nearly there. This is insane. Press further into the valley. Sweat-soaked and utterly exhausted, Takehu begins to lag behind, muttering quietly about putting one foot before the other. What's happened to him? Fatigue, -5 accuracy, -10 all defenses, -15 max health. Start of a stream, yes, as well. I can see quite a lot of potential for uses. Just reminded me of Beavis there, Evil Jess, with that. Takehu is injured. Okay, what a shock. Well, that's everyone but me, and Maya's the only. Oh, Maya's the only one who's injured, but is not lagging behind. Press further into the valley. Check on the glow. Oh, come on, press further into the valley. As you trudge along the valley's floor, the sun beats down on your party, blistering Maya's skin. You notice your companion beginning to slow behind you. Oh shit, she's now got 2 injuries. She's now got 2... If she gets KO'd again, she'll die. 50% of crits converted to hits, -2 penetration, -15% max health. So really, she actually got a falling branch falling on her, gave her a serious burn, but actually just sunburn gave a major injury. Maya was injured, 9 hours pass. Press further into the valley. Oh my words. Our party just got beaten up worse than any fight. Well, as bad as a really bad fight. When you finally reach the end of the valley, it almost comes as a surprise. The cliffs loom above you, crowned by their faint red illumination. Or perhaps that's simply the glow of the setting sun. I smell mutiny on the horizon. I have a feeling there's going to be a battle at the end of this. I have a feeling you might be right. 9 hours pass. Well, I'm glad. Oh, stiff upper lip. That's all British children are born with that. It's other folks might call it a defect, but this you could bounce bullets off of this. Oh, yeah, okay. We're and a stiff something. Oh, good lord. Keep calm and carry on. Yeah, keep calm and keep streaming. When you're there. Constitution check, climb the cliff. 2, check on your group. Or rope and grappling hook plus athletics. That'll probably be a check for me. Let's check on the group, shall we? First. Though the remainder of your party lags some ways behind, they are more or less keeping pace. They're also looking a bit battered. Rope and grappling hook and athletics. Throw the hook up. Watcher only check. 11 on my own. Might not be enough. Oof, nice. You lob a grappling hook up the side of the cliff, securing it around a tree growing out of the rock face above. Lost an item, rope and grappling hook. I love option 1, climb the rope. Option 2, sigh. I love this, sigh. You feel slightly better. That is one of my favourite sort of roleplay.
I gotta sing the Doom song now.
You feel I'm gonna carry on. Sorry, that just goes on for ages, and we're in the middle of the graphic novel bit. Climb the rope. Watcher only check. With my constitution of 15, I should be alright. After the ordeal that lies behind, the climb up the rock face seems almost relaxing. You're alone at the top of the promontory when you hear something moving around a nearby rock. I think we'll await the remainder of our party first and foremost. You resolve not to press on alone, but the rest of the party makes little headway as the sound gets ever nearer. Headway. The red glow grows as its source comes into view. A necklace crafted from a shard of vermilion ardra. That's new. We've never had vermilion ardra before. It's always been green or white or some such thing. The necklace hangs from the tusk of one of the largest boars you've ever seen. Oh, goody. All right.
Would you please stop singing?
Proximity warning. Planet ahead.
Grr! We're here! We're finally here!
I actually didn't know, A, that it could pause mute sound effects partway through, or that it paused them and let them carry on afterwards. That's really good to know. That's a new command, multi-part command, where I'm at any moment I can pause alerts and mute sound effects, but it means that they don't get lost. It means that they'll carry on, and I can even save them up and time them. But yeah, no worries, Evil Jess. Obviously, I know it's just the triggering, but as I've oft said, during narrative moments and bits of graphic novels, I've got to find a happy balance between the interactivity of the sound effects and keeping the flow going and not breaking the immersion too much. So if you know what the sound effects do try and pick your moments a little, if that's possible. The large boar, its quills bristling, snorts and stamps its hoof.
That's a big pig.
That is a big pig. That'll do, pig. That'll do. The beast is taller than you are, much heavier. All muscle, bone, and tusk. Gonna head off now. It's great hanging out. Good night. No worries, Kay. No worries. We'll catch you later. It was a pleasure having you here as well for a little bit. I would say leave your curls as they are. And with the fringe, see how you feel. If you cut it, it turns out like a week later that we can all go out again. But you do what's best for you. But if you do choose to do it, do feel free to share a picture or two. Diplomacy check of 1. Oh, no way. An actual skill check of here, piggy. Option 2. You look hungry, fella. Here, maybe I've got something you can eat. 3. Attack. Let's get this over with. 4. Back away slowly. I'll just be going now. Now, I have a general rule to usually take skill checks. However, in Pillars 2, skill checks aren't as one-dimensional as in Pillars 1. I know many of you know this. I'm explaining for people who don't know. That in Pillars 1, it would always just give you a better outcome, or sometimes the only route to the outcome you wanted. In Pillars 2, it'll give you a better version of what it implies. So if you're doing something menacing, and you have an intimidate check, it'll be better than just doing a menacing line of dialogue, but it will still probably get you the end result of being threatening, let's say starting a fight rather than avoiding it, for example. So with the diplomacy check of 1, following the game's until now entirely consistent design with dialogue, this should have a better outcome than you look hungry, fella. It should have a better outcome than that. If this is about to turn the whole skill checks are better than anything else on its head, I'll be quite annoyed, actually, because you can't just change the rules, even if it's a diplomacy check of 1 where it's clearly trying to troll me. It's very clearly trying to troll me, but we're going to do it. Here, piggy. Should being the main word, indeed. But it definitely should. You can't just change the rules of nearly 300 hours of play like that. Gonna do it. Diplomacy. Here, piggy. The boar's eyes narrow as it snorts. You've never seen an expression of greater incredulity on a boar. It stamps on the ground. Okay, so he didn't get what was going on. Alright, option 1. You look hungry, fella. Here, maybe I've got something you can eat. Are you aching for some bacon? I have to admit, I really want some bacon. Let's see if we can cheer him up. Its head tilts to the side slightly, ears twitching and snout a quiver as it cautiously hoofs towards you. It seems we're going through the same problem again, where periodically it's dipping. Alchemy of 6, excellent. Feed the boar deadly Huana Mahi. Here's some nice tasty mushrooms. Oh, we could poison it. Oh my god, look at these options. Feed the boar Orlan's Cradle. I'm pretty sure that's a poison. Feed the boar pork. That's messed up. I bet you love pork, don't you, boy? You like Orlan's Cradle, which I think is a poison. This is so messed up. I think I need that artifact around its tusk. And he's the fight at the end of this long thing, so I'm going to give him some nice tasty mushrooms with my alchemy skills. The boar sniffs at the mushrooms, then eats them out of your hand. Despite its size, the animal is surprisingly gentle. It sniffs at you as if seeking more. You've lost an item, Huana Mahe. The boar whines a long, mournful sound, one of its dark brown eyes searching yours. It rolls over, paws on its own belly and begins to shudder. Foam bubbles at its mouth. The whine grows higher in pitch. I'm starting to feel a little bad. Teaching the ways of cannibalism one boar at a time. You know it. Finally, the animal stills. Razorback Sow was killed. I don't feel all that good about that, actually.
Yeah? Consider it done.
Pelt, tusk, and a crimson crystal. Quest item. Leather band. Secure this piece of corrupted Adra to its cord. Notably, the accessory makes no use of copper. Okay. Return to the pool of memories. Oh, we've got a couple more. You murderer, bad Cray. Hey, Hismarka, I did murder the boar. I am a murdering murderer, and I will go to murderer hell. The wispy, shimmering form of an Aomwa approaches you cautiously, their posture crouched and wary. Numerous scars and burns dot the soul's lanky limbs, but their face is a diffuse blur, devoid of defined cheekbones and jaws. I imagine one way or another, you either had to fight it manually, or any one of those options was going to immediately poison it, because after going through all those skill checks and automatic injuries, most parties would be dealing with 2 to 3 injuries each. The reason we only had 1 injury mostly was because the party's really quite high level. So I expect that there was numerous outcomes that involved the pig falling over. At least that's what I'm going to tell my conscience.
An Amawa soul. Do you see him? Or her? Them?
Poisonings are cowardly, that's why you feel bad. That's true. That's often considered the case, that poisons are a bit, yeah. I don't know. Perhaps there was a way with true diplomacy that I could have gotten the necklace, but never mind. At least I got to use up those mushrooms, which were weighing down my pack. The pig was a nice piggy. He could have made a friend. She wasn't overly hostile, I must admit. Anyway, an Aomwa soul, an Aomwa.
All that may live.
The figure gesticulates as if to speak, but only distorted fragments reach your senses. 1. Are you asking for this relic? 2. Say that again, please. Watchers deal with hearing loss just like everyone else. 3. Did you perish here? You're trying to tell me something. 4. Another. A woman in robes also revealed herself to me. Some interesting choices here. Are you asking for that relic? Didn't seem apparent. That's just sarcastic and, in this instance, unhelpful to getting information. Did you perish here? It seems very likely around about here or nearby. And she obviously is trying to tell me something or trying to say something. I think number 4 is the best option. Just directly interjecting some information might help us garner more useful information faster. Another, a woman in robes, also revealed herself to me.
The seeking face lurks above the slaughter she helped create.
Oh! This rift or this rot or this poison might be an inside job. Jesus Christ. You were just... Jess is always adding additional options to the dialogue. Option 6, get the dick out of your mouth. Yes, an ectoplasmic dick that blocks up ghost mouth. How is poisoning cowardly? It takes guts to work with something that can kill you, making it. That's true. That's true. Yeah. They should have made her babies come out crying, "Mama, Mama." Oh, what, like in the South Park Woodland Critter Christmas? Mama, why'd you kill my mum? If that had happened, I probably would have had to just stop the show and cry for a while. I would have felt awful.
Learn from that relic.
Oh, she's more lucid now.
Grow as hard as it.
Giggity.
That you may live to restore the Crucible.
Grow as hard as that relic. I was wondering how many milliseconds that would take before Jez had something to. I would be laughing about that. The figure lurches forward, its posture urgently pleading, but no words are spoken, and the form dissipates into nothing.
Well, that happened.
I love Muatu. He's quite light-hearted. Any idea who that was? Let's go. Last time we went with option 3, like we were able to understand it any better than I was. She was fairly lucid, so do you have any idea who it was?
Hard to say. The surviving face, perhaps, or a soul connected to it.
Were you able to understand it any better than I was?
I speak spirit, not crazy.
Excuse me.
It's like he was reaching out from somewhere far away.
Well, yeah, we are literally looking into the in-between, you penis.
I'll bet we learn more by completing the trials.
Uh-huh. Okay, goody gumdrops. Let's uncover a bit more of the map. We'll quick save that bit. I'm already a hard woman.
I got this.
If it persists for the entire duration of the stream, I should really consult a physician. Okay, so this is a sort of generic end of the valley. What I am going to do while I'm here... Thank you so much.
Onwards.
To glory.
Hey there.
What we will do... Darkens, thank you. Darkens, thank you very, very much indeed. We will actually rest, because I can eat some proper... Well, we'll level up Constantine, who is now level 17. Excellent. We could do with a bit more mechanics in the party, but also athletics.
What a lovely day!
And we're going hunting. We're going hunting. We're going hunting. Hunting. Oh, crud. Right, half a second. Half a second. I've got to once again reboot the stream deck. Glad the connections are both still up. As it broke. It broke. My goodness. Right, let me try that again. Let me try that again. Yay! We're in. We're in. We're in. Alright, cool. And history 10. Insight. Yeah, we're fine. 7, 6. Wow, we are shockingly low on streetwise. I think I'll give him a bit more of that. Oh, one ability, but we've opened up power level 8. Oh no, we had that opened up before. We picked, with all your strength, slay the beast. Requires 6, increase the penetration of allies in the area. That'd be a good buffing one. Wouldn't mind taking one that takes a fewer phrases, though. Just so we've got some additional choices, like, 3 phrases: thrice was she wronged and thrice justly avenged. Drains electrostatic energy from the environment to create 3 bolts of lightning, causing shock damage to any in their path. Ugh, pathing's never fun. And the hellhead crashed upon the shield, reduces the armor rating of enemies in the area of effect. That seems quite helpful. Reduces the armor rating of an AoE armor rating reduction would be good for damage output and blah blah blah. Okay. We'll take that. It's simple, it's super low level, but it's cheap. We're lacking cheap things. First time the environment beat the hell out of the character more than the enemies. Very true. Sorry, got the beat to shit. Here's some bacon. Victory! Plated Dust Viper with the full roster of hunters for a Plated Dust Viper. Beautiful work. Okay. Job's a good one.
Be right there.
Next, we're going to camp. I'm not going to spend all my best food on these folks. Value max. Oh, wow. We've got a lot of +4 might. With that many wraps, I might... He can have some of those. How many of crusted swordfish? Oh, honey wine ham is pretty good. Minus 15 damage taken. Brew battered Isai, constitution. That's great for him. Capity. Seafood stew is alright. Forgetful Night. Minus 20 damage, minus 3 dexterity. Not ideal. Thank you. Thank you again, mate. It's really kind. I was half expecting the team to beat the snot out of Krayven. Might have if they had to fight the boar, yeah. It would have been fun if they turned around and gone, if you'd asked them sort of, hey, how you doing? And they're like, yeah, seriously, fuck you. This valley's rubbish and we hate you for it. Thank you, Tarkins. It's really kind. Might check. What's intellect, might, beneficial effect duration? I think the honey wine hen just for damage reduction and health restored per round. And for her, how much Mario Crudi do we have? Honestly, the Mahari wraps aren't so bad for him either. And for her, what does crusted swordfish even do? Penetration with spells. Might just do the crusted swordfish there. It'll still leave 2 of them. +4 might, +4 power levels. I'll give her this. These are going to be much better bonuses than the shit we get in those bunk beds back in the arena. So, rest. A much needed rest and buff up. Yeah, I appreciate that indeed. One of the new screams. Just fed her mushrooms, you know, the ones the boar ate. Well, they seem to have forgiven me for this brutal trek, so they get to live another day, but I'll bear it in mind. I'll bear it in mind. Okay, any cool little pets or fluffers? Oh God, I meant to say floofs or puppers, and it came out as fluffers. I'm not looking for any wild fluffers wandering around looking for pubes to comb. Fucking hell, fluffers. Fluffers. You can tell the heat's getting to me and making my brain foggy, can't you? You shouldn't have fed it mushrooms. You reckon, his marker? I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Right, we'll check out this. Well, I said I'm not okay with it, but you know what? It dealt with it one way or another. We had to get past it and get that necklace off of it. Use an item I had. I think it's good. Einzel of Artific. Hello. You are preparing to start your journey of pillage. Thought I'd check in with some veterans. I can say I'm something of a veteran of the game. For sure. Which one, Einzel? Good evening. Welcome. Pillars 1 or Pillars 2? Know how Krayven's the only one not injured. Well, don't like to brag. No, those wander the lands of Krayven's town. Burial site. Right, well, we can loot this for free. You come upon an ancient site once, used for sky burials. On a large stone slab is a scattering of old kith bones and a collection of urns of various sizes. Alright, what was 3 onyx, nice. 4 agates, done. Okay. Both gonna start character remove. Right. So you own both of them, and you're starting with number 1, and you know well enough, or you've done your research and found out that you can have, with a completed game save from number 1, take that same character into Pillars 2. Well, then you will get the fullest and richest experience. That's a very wise plan. Well, as far as I can help, obviously we'll do a complete spoiler-free advice. What would you like to know? I will try and, if I don't answer right away, it's because I'm still weaving the narrative and doing the stream and answering other people's chat. But and if I miss a message, just feel free to repaste it after a suitable period of time. Good on you, fair play. Now, Wakapoko Lovel, that's going to be the slaying face, yes. Recover the Slayer's artifact from Wakapoko Lovel. Thieves, the filthy thieves, have stolen an artifact sacred to the Slayer from the Crucible archives, and they did not make it off the island, but are hiding in this region. Let's do that. First, you kill an innocent creature, and now you're robbing graves. Ironsel, thank you so much indeed. Residency is granted. Lodgings are being prepared. Please ignore the screams. They are screams of joy. If anyone happens to dissent from this official Krayven's Town propaganda, report them to your nearest enforcer for re-education and, if necessary, processing. Pleasure to have you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Well, dead don't need those things exactly anymore. Exactly. Exactly. If you don't want your graves robbed, stop putting valuables in them, is what I say. Alright, we're going to have a little bit of narrative dialogue-y bits and pieces. I'm going to just try and sort of read them and keep the flow going. I'm just going to pause sound effects and alerts for a little bit there. The forest thins into scattered glades along the western cliffs of Kazuwari. Trees stand sentinel, overlooking the sheer stone plunge into the Deadfire Sea. Well, Ironsel, that's always nice to hear. I love kind words. I pride myself in and of myself and with the channel, but also the community. We take raid greetings, welcomes, and shout-outs where earned quite seriously. It doesn't cost anything to try and make people included. I believe very strongly one of the biggest aspects of live streaming, and what makes it greater than some of its parts, is its mixture of radio, interactive television, interactivity in general, and that real-time feedback, and giving that real-time feedback as best as one can, especially to new folks or people who chose your channel to bring their folks to. It's not the hardest thing in the world to do, but it means a lot to people, so why not do it? Hello. The forest thins into scattered glades along the western cliffs of Kazuwari. Trees stand sentinel, overlooking the sheer stone plunge into the Deadfire Sea. You turn north, only to enter a large open field ringed with woods and peppered with small clumps of dense forest. Clouds of insects hum over the rotting remnants of discarded carcasses. The path before you looks roughly disturbed. Well, we can investigate the scene. Just move into the field full of corpses. Probably not the best idea. Probably not the best idea. So we'll investigate first. Oh, that was a bit weird. Just a quick little thing. Though it's difficult to discern from the chaotic wreck of dirt and grass, it seems like multiple sets of Kith tracks came from the direction you did and continue towards the coast to the northwest. Another set of tracks, these from some manner of clawed beast, come from inland and follow the same path as the Kith tracks. Interesting. Let me just read this again to make sure that we've got... Alright, so clearly multiple former Crucible members, Seekers, are coming in directly as we did and continuing onwards. And then at some point, some enormous clawed monstrosity from further in on the island follow them after the fact. Congratulations, Lord Darkens. Well fought, both of you. Well fought, both of you. And yes, that was it. I was talking about the emotes and stuff. Yeah, I'm a bit slow with them because in my free time, along with running my business and streaming on the side or as a part of my business and everything else, I try and draw all my emotes because I used to work as an artist in the games industry, and I've always done sort of digital art, 3D art, graphical bits like that, so I don't tend to want to hire people for stuff I know I can do myself. It makes me pretty slow, but I'm glad you think they're original. Legit. The reason I have that whole spiel with it is a weirdly common phrase and yet a shockingly uncommon emote. Uncommon to the point I've never seen it anywhere else. Nearly 4 million live channels a month, and not only is it the only one I know exists as far as I can see, but even other people, streamer friends, have started to associate legit with this channel, which is rather nice. But yeah, the welcome one is sort of themed with the fact that we are known for our welcomes that we give and saying hello to people as best we can, provided they come in and they're not sort of off or weird or rude. And There's actually a little tabard underneath on the full-size one that says to Krayven's Town as well. And then the metal and the salt. The salt is... I like to do a lot of hard games and have fun getting a little bit salt. Not the shitty kind of toxic salty you get with certain streams, but the fun kind of just sort of, oh, god damn it, salty. It happened enough that I thought I'll make an emote for it. And Craigasm, well, there's a global Craigasm emote, so I had to, with my username, make my own version of that that's superior in every way, obviously. And then metal, just love the metal bit. I grew up playing Baldur's Gate and Heroes of Might and Magic. So your art style. Oh well, I'm glad. Thank you. I'm really glad that appeals to you, Einzel. I'm sure you will fit in here fantastically, and we will become firm chums. Okay. I think. So we've got examine the beast tracks, examine the kith tracks, and then follow. Well, examine both kinds or follow both kinds. I think examine first. Hopefully we'll have good enough survival for this as well. Yeah, myself as well, Darkens. Baldur's Gate I've actually never fully played. Likewise Heroes of Might and Magic, but I've seen the artwork from them plenty of times. Cool, just had a look at that, Leader Golem. I'll ping you either after the show is done or possibly tomorrow on that one. But good on you, and good on you for taking the time. I hope that works out. Yes, I did see. Do allow for the chat delay. If you're finding that there's a longer delay than usual, hit F5 because I'm streaming with low latency. So if you've got good internet, it should only be a couple of seconds. Examine the kith tracks. Success again, excellent. 4 different sets of tracks appear, including a set that look Orlan. The others are more difficult to narrow down to a specific type of kith, which is the sentient races, humans, Alma, dwarves, elves, Orlan, and godlike. Well, godlike aren't really a race, but there we are. The tracks seem pretty close together, as if those who left them were moving slowly and carefully. This clearly seems to be a sort of prior party. Thanks to the lurk, Leader Golem. We'll catch you later. Examine the beast tracks. Oh, again, 13 required, and we did it. Jest. Oof, yeah, that's our limit. 13 skill with this particular party. The tracks appear to have been left by a Stelgar. That makes sense because this is the Slayer realm, a very large Stelgar. The tracks overlap the kith tracks and are overlapped by them in turn. It seems the creature was stalking those who would stalk it. Ah, the hunter. The hunters became the hunted. Please tell me you have some cups, please. Follow the beast tracks in the direction they came. Well, we got 2 options here. Do we hunt the beast, or do we follow the kith tracks and trick it into hunting us, or just move into the field? I think I'm going to take the obvious one. Follow the beast tracks back the direction they came. Perhaps we can catch it napping. Perhaps we could catch the catch the Stelgar having a cat nap. Oh damn. Okay, we weren't good enough to do that. Despite your party's efforts, your companion loses the tracks among the tall grass and dry dirt. By the time Wrecker declares it a lost cause, you've meandered further into the open field. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. There was a time when me and my friend used to play Baldur's Gate every year richly with new mods, specifically BG2. My favourite thing was the talking sword Lilakor. It's sad I don't have many talking weapons anymore in modern games. Without giving too much away, you might then be pleasantly surprised about Pillars 2 on that regard. Complete success. My character's natural insight, Krayvan's natural insight. Pass an automatic check. It's alright, it's a balanced decadency. The fights that we've had have been quite big, drawn out affairs. And then lots of novel stuff. It's a very different beast, if you'll allow the pun, to... Oh, well, the Beast of Winter. I actually meant Beast based on Seeker Slayer Survivor Beast, but it would have been way cleverer if I meant it for the Beast of Winter. It's a much different beast than the Beast of Winter. I think so. The Beast of Winter was much more like, here's an additional quest that's very much in the style and flow of the main game. This one's a lot more sort of visual novel with big fights, but I don't mind it. You're not too sure what it is. Perhaps the rustling of grass that's just a tad too intense to be the wind, or the way each of these corpses seems to have gotten only a little further than the last. But you have the uncomfortable feeling that you're being watched. Alright, so we've got 3 options. Obviously return the way you came, which I doubt we'll be able to do, or being watched, or perhaps stalked. Option 1, sneak towards the nearest copse of trees. Or run for the tree line. We have a hunt in the chat. Do we have the stealth skills for it? Partial success. You move quietly, but Takehu fails to match your stealthy steps, stirring the grass as the two of you move towards the copse. Oh, joy. Seemingly from nowhere, a massive cat pounces on Takehu, knocking him to the ground and raking long curved claws down his side. Okay, he's maimed. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Takehu is injured. The beast bounds away before you get a moment to react. You help Takehu stand and the pair of you bolt into the trees. Damn it. We just rested to patch all that up and this idiot's hurt again. Maimed is a really bad one. -10 accuracy, -15 all defenses, -15 max health. Goodness. I own Neverwinter Nights 2. I never finished it. Never got too far with it. I've never played Neverwinter Nights number 1. Hunt in the chat. I thought that was going to be the end there, but apparently not. Alright, it's shorter story now. It's more interactive story, so let's re-enable the alerts and sound effects. Yeah, there's a lot of effort into the dialogue and the skill check, Seinzel. Absolutely. Stone Crusher Phoenix. Oh my word, Lone Wolf walked away with all the profit. The rest of us having to spend what we earned in trophies and reagents and components from that beast on the medical bills of reattaching our limbs, getting cybernetic implants, or fresh ones grown from stem cells. The Krayven Town Health Service, as always, only does regular healthcare, not backing you up after blood sport. You catch glimpses of muscular furred forms moving between the trees. Option 1, confront whatever lurks in the grass openly. Sleight of hand, attempt to give the lurkers the slip, or throw a spark cracker into the grass as a distraction. Oh, that could be interesting, because I don't think we got good enough sleight of hand on anybody. Throw a spark cracker. You stop, crouching low to the ground, your back against a tree. You carefully light a spark cracker and lob it into the underbrush. You've lost an item, spark crackers. Well, all of them. You hear the cascade of cracks and pops as the explosive ignites, followed almost immediately by the rattle of grass parting before pouncing beasts. Large beasts. It takes the Stelgars a moment to realise their mistake, but then the pack of large hunting cats, each shoulder high to an elf, that's quite tall, turn towards you, fur bristling and claws flexing. They stalk towards you. Oh dear. That spark cracker option did not go quite how I hoped. Goodness me. Holy crap, Darkens, you're back below 150? I'm amazed. That's because you've been spending them all on sound effects and things. I think it's like 150,000 this month you put on those. Einzel, yes, so normally it's the standard game in Pillars 1 and the primary option in Pillars 2 is pause-based real-time, just like Baldur's Gate and so on. But there is a turn-based mode in Pillars 2, which is what I'm doing, because I did Pillars 1 all on stream for 200 hours! God damn it. That's been the best one of the night.
It won't take me long to get back to 150k.
No, I know it won't. That was the best start of the evening so far. That nearly knocked my freaking headphones off. Well played. Well played. Okay, we are dealing with a savage, two savage tigers, 3 savage tigers, a savage panther with glowing red eyes, and a great Stelgar. Oof. Oof. Almost feel like that counter doesn't work correctly. I'm afraid it does. I'm afraid it does. Melissa, have you been gambling in the background again? Okay, what are they weak against? Oh my word, oh no, his defenses and will are not that high. Dexterity, sort of speed, initiative, and might are seriously high. What about these lads? Also, yeah, their dexterities all look crazy. Their defenses are quite solid. Oh, and they're all strong against crush damage. Okay, my monk Krayven with his fist attacks is going to be at a disadvantage here. Okay, well, let's see how this goes. So the 1, 2, 3, and then...
How do you like that?
Try this for size. Bang, 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 bang. That is the damage output. How much did we... Oh my good god. Okay, I thought for a second there we'd done loads of damage to him and barely dented his health bar. Thank you for the Crario coins. Back to even numbers. Back to even numbers. You haven't lost your touch, Darkens. Far from it. Far from it. It's so broken, isn't it, Decadency? It is so overpowered. I think it's great.
Absolutely.
That's why I concur when you said monks have the highest damage of any class in the game. I was like, really? And then I got that skill. I was like, as usual, Decadency was right. Oh, and a small little tidbit, if you don't mind me doing so, Decadency, as I mention it quite often. Einzel is newer to Pillars of Eternity and wanting to get in to do both games back to back. Decadency is the world's greatest player, officially, at Pillars 2. He was the first person in the world to get the ultimate, which is a special achievement that is too difficult to even be considered put as an achievement in lists. On the first game, there's an achievement called the ultimate that was so hard to get, very few people could, and a lot of people complain because they like to have their achievements list filled. He was the first person in the world to get it and is enshrined forever at Obsidian Studios with not only the patch, but the first 12 people to get it got their names on a plaque on the wall, and he's the first name on that plaque. It is something else. But yes, as you said, Angel, you wanted to speak to some veterans. I can certainly advise you in a general sense, but about this game in particular, and probably Pillars 1 as well, there's nothing that man doesn't know. Let's see. Well, you know what? Shattering their armor would be a prudent course of plan with this new ability we've got. Debuffing them as well. Dull the edge, blunt the point. We'll move up a little. Grazed them only, so 1 round. Bugger. Crap. And poop.
You need something?
Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that stupid wood thingy again, because it just keeps screwing up the character models. What elements are they weak against? Lightning and fire. Well, he doesn't have any fire, that's for damn sure. Don't think he has any lightning, to be honest. Oh no, tell a lie, tell a fib. Yes, he does. He's got that storm thingy.
I'm listening.
Okay, Maya. Savage Tigers. Probably should have sent my monk down this way to off-tank them. Okay, we'll see if we can... We'll send a parrot. We'll send a parrot against a tiger. I'm sure this will be fine. I don't know how to play druids. Didn't use them a lot. Oh, there you are. Okay, so there's one thing he doesn't know. End turn. Reke. Well, there's that one there looking decidedly unguarded, but I think the best bet is to get him into defender stance. Get him to about, well, here. And put up his fighter defenses, his barbarian defenses, and then... Ooh, that was actually pretty good. That was actually pretty good, right. They don't seem to be that tough. How much damage is there? How hard is their damage output? Not as bad as I expected. Good. With him in defender stance, it seems to be the only way to make a fighter work as a tank. Everything will run to other enemies, but if you put him in defender stance, it just goes aggro them all on the hard lad. Oh! Holy crap! All right, Krayven just got critted for stupendous damage from a claw attack there. 63. Okay, that tiger's desperately trying to get involved. Oh wow, the pathings were... Oh, I thought the pathing was just cacking up there, but apparently not. Okay, with all those wounds, he should be able to do that again. He should be able to do that again. Christ. Oh, it's rare for the collector to get me, but that one did. That one did. We'll put up the Thundering Blows again, and then we're going to do another Whispers on the Wind. Thank you so much, 75. Priest is the most OP class in the game. That's the one. You did a Blood Priest build to do the ultimate, didn't you? The solo build. Thank you so much. Krayven critical by Killer Kitty. Kersey, I love the fact that your name begins with a K as well. That is an alliteration for the ages. Outstanding.
Try this. Bullseye. Gotta have something here that works.
That was fairly effective. Can we get a second wind up in there?
Of course.
Right, there should be quite a lot of resonance on a number of them now. Yeah, there really is. Next turn, resonance will do stupid amounts of damage as well. Oh, Alma, my lovely Alma, you make me happy when connections are faulty. Thank you so much for the host. How are you? If you're just chilling, lurking, relaxing, all cool, resting up your wrist and doing some knitting or baking, then no worries. But it's nice to have you in. I do hope you're doing okay. 7 completed. Ultimates are priests. Respect. I have to admit, I'm monk till I die. Monk fists till I die. That Stelgar's going down quickly. That tiger, which one's got the most health? That savage tiger. Let's stick an entropy curse on him then to increase the chance of crits. It's good to see you, mate. Happy Sunday. How are you? You're looking lovely. Even just to see you with your name and your diamond, I'm just like, oh, there's Alma. She's lovely. Okay, Ishi, phone home. I'm clearly the first person to ever make that joke because I'm incredibly funny. Which one's got the marked for the hunt? Ah, yes, you. A wizard, you say? Would I survive encounters as the Vanguard? Probably not, Einzel. Born in 91, so I guess I passed. Yes, 91 these days is late enough. I remember the longest time thinking being born in the 90s was a child. And now it's like, okay, being born in this millennium. And it's starting to include, like, well, adult. They're not adults. They can be tried as adults. I refuse it. It's like kind of, oh, I was born in the year 2000. I'm almost 20. Shut the fuck up. You're 12. Am I so out of touch?
What?
No, it's the children who are wrong. Born in 84. Ah, respect. 85 here, but close enough. Oh well, Alma, I am glad. I hope you will too. If that is something that brings you joy and you feel you want to, then good on you. And pick whoever you like or feel is merited. And if I might add, with what you've talked about in the past, don't spend a single red cent on any of those types who would call out talking about chronic conditions or mental health or anything else like that. You put it where you damn well please, but don't put it to folks who don't deserve it. You're better than that. Well, always at the back of my mind, consider you a queen due to your prior moniker, your prior username brand. I would not want to play solo. I'm playing a full experience in immersion, not the challenge. Respect. 86. I know that what the folks we have here do skew a little bit older, and it's wonderful because I appreciate that it's various sort of grown-ups and adults with lives and responsibilities spending a little bit of their time here and enjoying it, and it does allow us a degree of typically greater emotional maturity and just that kind of thing that comes from having a somewhat older audience, which I do appreciate.
Your orders?
Almost just about everyone here. Well, everyone here is some degree of lovely, and a lot of folks are exceptionally lovely, is how I'll put it. Then just pick anything you like and let your party do the job. Yeah, exactly. Declan says, yeah, Einzel, if you're going for the full party and the full experience, there's so many different ways you can complete it and go through. You'll be grand. Pick what you like. Figure out what works for you. You'll learn the synergies as you have fun. and as you play through, and yeah, have fun. Just absolutely have fun. Wanting to grow up was my worst mistake. Yeah, oh God, indeed. It's we always spend our childhood wishing that we could be treated as grown-ups and treated as adults, and then we finally get to adults like, wait a minute, this is shit. This is rubbish. And being treated as an adult isn't better. In fact, in some ways, it's worse. I did not sign up for this, and I demand to see the manager. Right, Savage Panther. At least they're all beating up on the Barbarian Rogue. I was hoping maybe that one of them might be like a Steel Panther, because then I could start singing Glory Hole. It's a trap. It is. Being a grown-up is a trap. That's why with our generation, this is prevalent rise of the man-child, or the adult child. Is we're very much all about equality with our immaturity. Swift Flurry, Thunderous Blows, that's fine. I think a Resonance would be the order of the day here. This should sting. Boom! That was quite a lot of collective damage on everyone, but not enough to wipe out anyone. Well, bugger.
My pleasure.
Krayven, do you play D&D tabletop online by any chance? I don't currently. I haven't. I'd love to get back into D&D, but I've only played one campaign. Oh, no problem at all, Ainzel. I will never judge anyone on their typing, at least not intentionally, because with a internet show like this, one has to assume you always have an international audience. People might not be speaking English as their first language or even second language. People might be dealing with dyslexia or any number of things, or on devices, or in different circumstances. So yeah, don't feel bad. The only time I might have to sort of pull someone up is if the grammar and word order is too confused, or there's too many mistakes for me to actually understand it, even with close scrutiny. But yeah, don't worry at all, mate. You spell how you want to spell. My favourite class by interesting features is Cypher. I really like Cyphers in the first Pillars of Eternity. I really like Cyphers in the first Pillars. I'm not so warm to them, I think, in turn-based mode, and especially in this one. They're not as good. I don't know. The Grieving Mother, and also in pause-based real-time, Cyphers definitely seem to have suffered a little. Funny you said that. I had that. I mean, I still do, but I kind of fixed a few. Yeah, it's something that'll dog you all your life, but one can learn coping mechanisms and compensations for it. But yes, sorry, when I say not like spell however you like, obviously you'd like to spell things correctly, but don't you don't have to worry about making a slight mistake. I'll never pull it up. Right, so Constantine's done his thing. Let's try and...
Yours to command, Captain.
What else are they weak against? Fire! That's it. Now, that boiling spray was quite handy, because it doesn't hurt our dudes. It only burns them. Yeah, it was fire, was the other thing they were weak to. Well, there isn't as much fire, but it's very, very hot water. Close enough. I'm sort of flinging a super kettle in their direction, which is messed up now that I think about it. Cyphers are great with their buffs. They are more like supports in Pillars 2. Ah, okay, yeah. In Pillars 1, they were much more offensive, psychic, telekinetic things. Whereas, yeah, in this one, I guess because in Pillars 1 I saw them as an offensive class. I didn't really treat them as a support class. So perhaps I haven't been using him right. All right, Reke. Let's do another barbaric strike. Oh wow, that was okay. The second hit did a lot better. They got a lot of spells they can't cast on self. Ah, okay. Very unique class. Yes, because it would be very easy to sort of just roll. Hunt in the chat, folks. Hunt in the chat. It'd be very easy to roll sort of what the Cyphers do as a sort of just into the Wizards' massive repertoire. But I think the Cypher as a unique Pillars class, as you say, Ainzel, is one of the real sort of success stories of introducing an entirely well, it's an entirely new class, but a fairly uncommon class to the sort of fantasy mythos setting. the sort of
Still got it.
a dedicated psychic in a fantasy setting, because typically, oh, you're psychic, you're a wizard or a sorcerer or a warlock or whatever. That could have done more damage. We've got a few of them getting pretty squished now. I think one more and the Great Stelgar. Poor old...
Home is near at last.
Oh, we might actually have to heal... We might actually have to heal up Reke. Our fighter has just spent the entire time on the ground getting mauled to death. Right, he's got 9 wounds. Thunderous Blows is up. Enduring Dance. Swift Flurry. OP fuck you attack. Go.
There's something you can see every day.
Bang. Bang. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, that's 2 of them dead. Right, that takes a little... Oh, 3 of them dead. Yeah, this monk is broken. My character's such beast, and it makes me happy. And Cypher's very connected to the law of pillars, soul manipulation. Yes, it's a really nice way to introduce something like one that folks might treat as like a bit of a what kind of class?
What?
What? Constantine ain't got time for your shit. 4. What else can we do here? So synced the bite. Some silly song name. Devastates. Did we win? A Stone Crusher Phoenix and a bunch of us walking away with a profit, including Einzel with 82. Congratulations, myself, Einzel, Lone Wolf, and Darken's victory indeed. Are these guys strong against Frost? No. Freeze and crush damage and slows movement. Haven't tried this spell very much.
You need something.
Takehu, yeah, you're going to have to sort of roughly stand near some people and cast some regen. Oh, we've used up that. We've used up the high level regen spell. That one's crazy good. Let's do some Nature's Balm. Let's rub some aloe, some Pillars of Eternity aloe vera in the general region.
I will swallow you whole. Is near at last.
Speak freely.
Something just said crippling wounds on him, and then he just magically had more health. Okay, Maya, mark for the hunt, do accurate wounding shot.
You see that, Ishi?
Oh, that was solid. I forgot how good that attack is. It's what in my progress plans for an RPG tabletop campaign, we get all the things ready. Would you grace me your presence as a guest in one of the campaigns?
Pretend you didn't see
potentially, yes. Oh, whoa! Holy balls! How powerful was that attack? Sorry, I'd never seen that go off. Or tell you what, Einzel, perhaps we can chat about it. We can chat about it more. Potentially, yes. Potentially, yes. Resonance should kill that one. Just to sort of get to know you a little bit better, what you have in mind, the people I'll be with. What I'd be able to say was, I wouldn't have the time necessarily at the moment, if you're starting soon, to be part of a party. But I like as a one-off cameo, as like an NPC or an enemy or a boss or someone like a character joining a party for a short while, for like a one-off guest appearance, like Lee say, like a presence as a guest in one of the campaigns. Like if you're getting it sort of a one-off thing with a role and a pre-made character sheet and everything else like that, yeah, absolutely. So, or something like that would be a lot more feasible for the time I have available in my life, allowing for time zones, my job, streaming, and everything else that I've got going on. That would be okay. Yeah. A cameo. Yeah. Of course. Well, sure. Let's talk about it a little bit further, perhaps. Drop me a DM on Discord if you use it, or whisper me through Twitch, and perhaps we can figure something out. And yes, I was talking a little about D&D. Obviously, some of the regulars here, especially those who catch me on a Sunday, know a bit of the backstory with all of this. I enjoy D&D and the concept of it and everything else, but I've only ever played one campaign. It was at university, and it was... He apparently. Oh, he's laughing at how he grazed him. He's laughing at how badly he hit. I was thinking, wow, that's a crit for him. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we did. I think it was edition 3.5. We had the Book of Vile Darkness and the Necronomicon. And I played not a drow but an evil elf. We had a regular world, a good world, and an evil world, and it was very sort of comedic dungeon keeper setting. Like the regular world was way too good. It was too good and nice and ordered and wholesome, and we were a party from the realm of evil there specifically to fuck shit up in order to restore some balance to it, sort of serving the sort of true neutral concepts. At least the realm of evil felt that the world needed to be a bit more in balance. So I had this dark elf sorcerer, sort of Gatling gun caster who worship Ralistar from the Book of Vile Darkness. The various some additional evil gods were introduced, and Ralistar was the god of torture, murder, and psychotic behavior. And I took it on psychotic in the sort of way an uninformed, barely turned 20 teenager would, not teenager, barely turned 20-year-old student would, rather than an adult and someone with an interest in mental health. He's got a much better understanding of what psychopathy is. So I just made him like a violent lunatic. Or rather, he was very cold and calculating, but I had these, I introduced and the DM agreed with it, these psychopathy checks. So I'd randomly roll a d20. If I rolled too low, I had to do something terrible every time I encountered a new situation. It was a lot of fun. I won't go into all the details of the various steps of it and what we did, but it was a good laugh. It was the last time I played, though. I've contemplated doing the online thing, the sort of doing D&D online tabletop, but a big part of what I liked was actually the original way. You know, going round to a person's house or having them come to your place, and it's a group of you, and you've got your snacks and you've got your drinks and you've got that face to face. It was a nice stay-in social connection, and in between all of it, you're just having a right laugh. I don't think anything can surpass that kind of way of playing D&D. But I get that it's an entirely positive and it's an entirely good thing to have what the internet allows you to do with the D&D online. I do think perhaps that I actually would enjoy the online more than I realise. I'd probably get on with the social side of it quite well, but having only ever done any kind of character sheet roleplay games in person, it's kind of I've just never thought to have a go at doing them in the digital space. I want to get back into D&D. I only have books for the 3. The thing is, the 3.5 edition rule books, I know they're on what edition, God knows. We must be quite a few editions on, like 5th edition or 6th edition by now. Although if you want to, if you have the rule book and all the expansions for a previous edition, you can just play under the previous edition, can't you? What we got here? Cinder Shard, quest item. The aggressive soul energy raging within the slim slice of steel. Love that. Slim slice of steel seems to warn from it. Sounds pretty chaotic and funny. A Darfell sorcerer with Gatling gun. Oh, sorry, he didn't have a Gatling gun. Basically, the way sorcerers were described to me as a class was they're a Gatling gun. Like a wizard has to prepare all their spells and do all this stuff. But if you play a sorcerer, you've kind of got like certain spells, you just got loads of them and you can fire them off. So when I was like, well, what's a sorcerer like versus a wizard? And some Munchkin player I knew was like, well, a sorcerer is just like way more like a Gatling gun. He just fires shit off. That's what he meant. All right, well, we just got this Cinder Shard, which I'm guessing is the artifact, the Slayer artifact that we needed.
Challenge.
There we are. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So, return to the pool of memories. Now we've got the third ghost is going to come by here.
Unacceptable!
Christ!
Boo.
Boo to you too. Thank you so much, Darkens. Thank you very, very, very much indeed. The lemon grab one gets me on occasion. That was solid. That was solid. All right, we've got a third ghosty character here as the bright glow approaches. The rhythm of a heartbeat, not your own, thumps in your head. The light coalesces into the muscular features of a hulking Aumwa striding towards you. The spirit shrinks away from the glow with a terrified yelp, leaving a review. This restaurant was shit.
Watcher!
Oh, Wehami. The soul roars as if in challenge. He points a thick, gloved finger at you. Watcher, let us go wenching.
I wanted tougher, but you will suffice.
Mate, you're not punching anything. You're transparent and very, very dead. Option 1, who are you? Option 2, come closer and say that again. Option 3, sorry, but what? That's very in keeping with my reaction. Option 4, a woman in robes also revealed herself to me. That sounds like some random ghost decided to flash me, going along in a duffel coat and just exposing herself. 5, I met someone like you in the Valley of the Boars. Well, I can ask who are you, but every time we've asked who are you to the other two that we previously encountered, they haven't told us. They've just said whatever information they felt like saying. These are reacting directly to what he said, but again, I like to blindside. Now that we've got these other options, like we met these folks, we met these other two folks, to use that to sort of go, hey, by the way, let's cut to the chase. So I already used another woman in rose also revealed herself to me versus the one we met in the Valley of Boars. So this option 5, I met someone like you in the Valley of Boars, is a new thing. I'm going to take that option. I met someone like you in the Valley of Boars.
I'm not here to speak of him.
Oh.
He lived forever and accomplished nothing.
Okay, I definitely brought up the right person there. That's right. And I just said earlier, my God, that does sound amazing. It's always been wished I'd play a D&D campaign, but I am from a place where such things are not really known by others. But now, I guess with Twitch and online D&D and everything, I wish to do it at last. Hey, fair play to you. Fair play to you. Yeah, online D&D is a great place to go if you're in that exact situation where you can't do it with a local group.
Return your trophy to the old man. There is much left ahead of you to hunt.
Okay.
And far more to kill.
Oh, when he said he wanted someone stronger, he wanted just someone better to pass on his wisdom to. Apparently, I'll have to do. Thanks, dude. The lines of his face lose what definition they possessed, blurring into a featureless mass until the entirety of his form evaporates into thin air.
Well, wasn't he fun?
Ah, yes, Muatu, our friendly ghost, who's a character coming along with us through the medium of his decapitated and shrunken head. Any idea who that was?
Hard to say. He certainly wasn't nice, was he?
He was a bit rambunctious.
Poor attitude aside, he knew of Ingari, and he knew what you're up to.
Uh-huh.
You should be careful.
As opposed to the recklessness I've been previously exhibiting. He seems to want us to kill someone, or something.
Do you think this is why Galloway didn't want you here? Maybe the Slayer wants you to kill the gods.
I wouldn't mind that. The gods are kind of dicks. Let's go.
I wonder if we'll run into more like him if we continue with these trials.
Okie dokie. Alright, what did see if there's any more herbs, reagents, and any pets or collectibles in this not generic region, but temporary region. Once we leave here, it will disappear from the map, as it's a pre-generated encounter region more than anything. Wouldn't be the first time you tried to kill a god. No, it wouldn't, indeed. The end of the Beast of Winter with the, hey, guess what? I'm the real final boss. Actual Beast of Winter. And, hey, yeah, by the way, I tricked you. I put you in a position to force you to give up your soul to me when you die. Never mind all the other folks who apparently got claim on it. And I was like, yeah, no, sod that. He's like, all right then, fight the avatar of the Beast of Winter. Okay. Although I felt a little bit silly, like we finally beat it down, and then 5 seconds later he's just like, yep, and overpowered regen, and it was back to full life. Brilliant. But yes, we certainly gave the avatar of the Beast of Winter a good drubbing. Okay. Well, we've cleared out the 3 encounter regions of this place quite a lot. And there's that little hillside, there's this bit, and then, this little bit is the way into the Crucible. Anyhow. I think a quick save is the order of the day there. I'm waiting until we come across this fiery quasi rip-off of an Eldar avatar. Okay, still got our food buffs up. Annoyingly, his injury involves maiming, but you can't just rest one member of the party. You have to rest all of them, which kind of sucks, because then we're going to lose all those great food buffs. So, locate an artifact prized by either the Seeker, Slayer, or Survivor and consign to the pool of memories. But we've done all three. We've done the slaying phase, the seeking phase, the surviving phase. Potions of plenty. We still haven't done anything to advance that yet. Well, let's see if what's his name here, the one who said, "Oh, you can get at least one, and you can only favour one face," has got anything new to say.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I hope I can be of service, friend.
Are we? You're weird.
It's early to be calling us friends, buddy.
Yes, Constantine, you said what I was thinking.
Shouldn't I? All are my friends in service of the Faces, even when they're my foes.
Oh, do you have any items for sale?
Not many, but what I have is exclusively sold to the Crucible's contenders.
Hopefully this will be some cool, unique, magical stuff. He smiles down at your token before his eyes return to yours. This is my token that I won through the rite of passage to show that I am a contender.
Please, spend lavishly.
Wow. Subtle. Subtle. Not like please take your time or anything like that. No, please spend lavishly. I almost respect the direct honesty of that. I'm not your buddy guy. I'm not your guy friend. I'm not your friend, buddy. Oh, South Park, love it. With a flourish of one arm, he indicates the items on the shelves behind him. Okay, well, most of these are generic magical items. No bad thing. However, he has a couple of legit good ones. Contender's armor. Contenders ready. Gladiators ready. Superb. Contender's composure +1 enemies. Oh, its additional effects are a bit wank. Alright, Contender's armor. It's good armor. Well, actually not really. It's considering it's unique. Gold means it's magical and unique. Because that's for a superb level, a unique superb item. 14,000 gold, pretty cheap. So medium, initiative low. Contender's composure +1 enemies engaged. This armor invokes the imagery of the Kazuwari arena, a cuirass of treated wood. Oh wow! Right, don't get hit by any fire magic. Secures a thick and riveted leather gallerus. Abstract etchings of the Deadfire's many predators grace the pauldrons and greaves, and the cuirass boasts a scene of spirits on the hunt. Wooden armor. Wooden armor is like considered the most ultra shit. They take the piss out of that in 8-bit theatre. The earliest comics of 8-bit theatre, like the level 1 store that they can go to, has like wooden swords and stuff for extra splinters. Let's see what the enchantments are like. Wow. But you get 1 extra enchant off of it. Petrified wood +1 armor rating, or -1 initiative per athletic skill. That's actually fairly okay, but...
What a lovely day!
We're going hunting. We're going hunting. I'm glad someone got that Einzel. I'm glad someone got the 8-bit theatre reference. Because, yeah, that's going back years now. Possibly decades even. Hunt in the chat. Hunt in the chat. Hunt in the chat. Alright, well, even that basic enchant is complete crap, so we'll be leaving that as well. What about the Contender's Helm? +5 to all defenses against perception affliction attacks, and Contender's Composure. Gain concentration at the start of each combat. That's actually pretty good for a caster. Distracted, disoriented, and blinded. That's actually not bad for a caster. In addition to protecting the wearer's head, face, and neck, this crested helm marks those who have risen in the rank and esteem of the Crucible. Decorative engravings lend the wearer a stoic aspect, and the open eye holes emphasize the need to maintain focus in the heat of battle. That's actually not rubbish. That's actually not rubbish. I'll grab that one. That armor, that unique armor, is a pile of soggy poo. But we've got some other crap to flog to make up for it. Exceptional and superb. Yeah, we're going to make bank here. I just needed something, someone to sell this good shit to. The rest of that cool, unique stuff I like to keep. And I think likewise, we've got some good armor. Superb plate, that stuff, and that one as well. All right, so we'll get about 9,000 for our trouble. Anything... Now, the belts and gloves and capes and rings are so hard to freaking... Oh, hard to come across. Thank you, Darkins. Thank you, my God. Are so hard to come across that I like to sort of hang on to them, so I've always got, for even secondary, even a C team, I've got something good to give them. Thank you very much, as always, the 75 biddies, dudes, and all the rest of it, you absolute buttes. We will trade this stuff up. Plated Dust Viper's going to go down. Okay. Good. Delightful monies. Delightful monies. He said spend lavishly. He's clearly referring to himself. Tee hee hee. Victory! Victory. He had some other bits to say.
Of service.
I have retrieved an artifact sacred to the faces of the hunt.
Well done. The final step is to place the offering into the pool of memories. I leave that honor to you.
How did you end up the Keeper of Memories? Just we'll find out a little bit more from how did you end up as the Keeper of Memories?
I came before the faces not so many years ago now. Already long in tooth and weighted with the histories of 100 kingdoms.
Yeah, his portrait makes him look quite youthful, but he's supposed to be grey-haired and so on. He's getting on a bit for an hour.
I was a merchant first, but also a chanter of chants and stirrer of spirits.
Okay, so his class is chanter.
I thought myself worthy of the face's favor.
Oh, we did well.
Perhaps I was. Or perhaps they merely saw some kindred spark within me, for they did not allow me to compete.
Interesting.
That, or he bored them into submission.
Instead, they revealed me to myself. They taught me the way of things.
Considering we had an earlier bit when we were going through that death valley, that sort of valley of endurance test, and the second ghost said, the seeker, she made things this way, and the way he's going on about knowing the way of things, I reckon some aspect of the seeker, slayer, and survivor, what was it, whatever that try word. Beginning of the stream made a big deal about learning it, and now I've forgotten. And him might be in cahoots. Yeah, one aspect of the three-headed being and him might be in cahoots about what's going on.
They set me to this task and I eagerly accepted.
Eagerly accepted it. Triparite? Something like that? Yeah, tripartite. Sorry, I was close. Tripartite. Yes, that tripartite, that tripartite statue and him. He smiles. 2 fingertips resting gingerly on a wooden helm. How do you preserve memories from these items? Just always loved the lore. Like you were saying earlier, Einzel, and for those others of you who are newer, just sort of hanging out for don't see too many of the Sunday shows. I am a lore junkie. I'll do the voices, I'll do the dialogue, I'll read the stuff, I'll check out the extra bits and pieces because I like to get the full immersive experience. It's got to live up to the name, Story Sunday.
We first wash the items in the pool, and in doing so, give the memories to the souls of this place. Thus do their deeds live on beyond them.
Now, I already asked this earlier, but I think it's come up as a new option. The same options appeared in a new branch of dialogue, so it's coming up as if I hadn't clicked it. Because I hadn't in this new thing, but he's going to say the same stuff.
Carry little more than the strongest.
Yeah, okay.
A few, however.
Yeah.
Abundant.
I'll only skip if we've had something once before, and we had that once before, but it was just in a different place in the dialogue. Okay. Shumer.
Contender.
Oh, she's got a bunch of new things as well. I think I'll come back to this. I've retrieved an artifact sent from Face the Hunt.
Place it in the pool of memories, as you did with the bloodied knife during your rite of passage.
I have to call it quits tonight. Look forward to tomorrow. Gotta do like everyone. Keep it legit. No worries, Councillor Melissa. Take care. Yeah, we'll hopefully be on tomorrow. Hopefully there won't be again the technical issues. Did better than how it had been the previous couple of Sundays, but it's still a shame that the stream had to get broken up. Wouldn't have done any good, but hopefully it will just be tonight. It will just be the heavy internet use tonight, and I'll do as much as I can to mitigate that tomorrow. We'll catch you tomorrow for Dark Souls and me dying and failing more and being genuinely salty. Thanks for being an active and present counsellor as always. Very much appreciated. We'll see you soon. Okay, never mind. I'll speak to her some other time. Save a little bit of the lore for this next bit of lore for another time. Okay, let's put in a item in the pool.
I got this.
Can we do all three of them? Now I think we have to pick one that we prefer. So the Seeker was the Sword Skull, the Survivor was the Crimson Crystal, and the Slayer was the Cinder Shard. I liked the idea of being the Seeker, even though she seems to be up to no good, so I'm going to throw the Sword Skull into here. Quest updated to Seeking Face. Pursue victory in the Seeker's Path series of Crucible trials. Oh, earn the favour of either seeking. Earn the favour of either seeking. Oh, well, I'll put in all three. And then we've got the choice. Wreak havoc in the Beasts of the Slayer series, the Crucible Arena of Events. And then we'll put this one in. Endure the Survivor Stand series of Crucible Arena events. Okay, right. So they got the rite of passage, and then we have to do. Okay, so there's 9 fights. Well, there's at least 3. I can't be certain, but I'm going to assume that if we pick one path of challenges, it'll lock us out. So we pick the Seeker's Path, or the Beast of the Slayer, or the Survivor Stand. We pick 3, we won't be able to do the other 6. That would be a shame. I'd like the idea that we could do all 9, but it'll be the Seeker's Path that we end up doing. The fight recreates the final struggle of a Seeker contender slain by his rival Shade minions. Knowing his foe to be a wild and frenetic brute prone to leaping in and out of the fray, the assassin gave his Shade special instructions designed to counter his foe's savage and unpredictable fighting style. Secrets of the Ooze. Bog is territorial and protected by nature. Bog oozes defend to the death whatever environment they choose to inhabit. Some oozes develop a symbiotic affinity for magical wards, which makes dispatching them a more complicated task. Enterprising Seekers will need to find a means of dealing with their primordial foes while navigating the dangers of active wards and the Spider's Web. 2 Spider Matriarchs. And I think there'll be a little bit of a cooldown on it now, Einzel. Whether someone takes it or not, there's a bit of a cooldown. And yes, if you want to duel, to accept the duel of anybody, you have to do duel and then !duel and then at the person who challenged you for it to trigger. 2 Spider Matriarchs and their respective broods have woven their ambush, awaiting a contender brave or foolish enough to venture into their trap. Though lacking the mind of any Kith hunter, the Spiders have their own brand of feral cunning, and many hunters have been slain by the Seekers chosen. Yes, Einzel, as I just explained, it's on a cooldown. There's a 15-minute whether someone accepts a duel or not, or misses the opportunity to do it. There's a little bit of a cooldown, at least for the person who took part in it. No problem. Okay. Right. Well, that is a perfect point, having just finished the trials of the Crucible, to
watch and learn.
Come back for this next time. It'll be pure, what's looking to be a lot of solid combat for next Story Sunday. If you've been watching this after the fact, on a VOD, either on Twitch or on YouTube, thanks so much. I hope you've enjoyed it. But if you're live right now, please stick around for the outro, credits, and the raid. It will only be a few minutes. I'd be very, very grateful indeed. 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 I'd be very, very grateful